Hi, everybody. Once again, it's been like a year or something like, geez. Anyway, we are Beth and Angel, and we make games and zines and stuff. We are just now starting our first stream on our own channel. We used to use the Weird Draft Games channel, and we decided to start on our own. So we are now over here. But anyway, hey, hi, how's it going? Um, we're gonna do this as a like more official, like real thing here. Hey, Panic.
Hello.
Hey, and when I reply to you, like from StreamYard, it's actually me now and not the Weird Draft Games account by mistake. So that's nice. Um, we wanted to get back into streaming for a while, and my mentor from the tabletop mentorship program was kind of like, why don't you kind of have like a format instead of just like you know slapping everything together and just randomly doing things. So I was like, yeah, okay, give it a try. So that's what we're doing right now. It feels weird to do anything more official and real, but I'll get more into that later. But anyway, Angel, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. It's been a day, but I'm good.
That's good. Yeah, it has been a day. Oh my goodness, it's been a week, honestly, really. Um,
Hmm.
what have you been up to? What have you been doing this week? What have you been making? What have you been?
We have been working on the July challenge for um, an Instagram thing for zines. There's a zine July 2024. I found this last year from Blanca's the Creative on Instagram, and she had posted a whole list and she breaks them down to like 4 or 5 days per prompt, and then you have that time to make a zine with that prompt, and we had a really good time with that. Last year's was introductions, throwback, fanzine, pocket guide, memories, fashion, and 24-hour zine. I think I found the 24-hour zine the most challenging because they do 24 pages in 24 hours. So I ended up making 3 mini zines, which were 8 pages each. And I just did photography zines and featured a lot of the pictures that I had taken from walks in the wildlife park and the park over a town over from us. And that ended up, you know, fitting in the time schedule pretty well instead of worrying about making that many pages um, in another format. And I really like being able to show off my photography anyway, so I was happy with that. This year's prompts were celebration, reminder zine, and we've done those two. This week's July 11th through the 15th, we'll be working on before and after. I really don't have. I have a few ideas for that, but I don't think I've settled on what I want. We have talked about doing a zine about the Daniel Fest that we did and kind of the results of that, and I thought that might work. But I don't know. I think I'm still searching for an idea on that. For the celebration zine, I did a poem, and I also did a poem for the reminder zine. I did Lone Souls, and that is about a rain dance and perseverance. The reminder zine is I Say Be a Child, and that is about um, just kind of letting a kid embrace who they are and not making them grow up too quickly. So I really enjoyed making both of those and finding little art for that on Canva.
Yeah, you did a great job with those. Like I have this habit of like I'll pull mine up here too. This is actually Angel's idea because I forgot it existed. But Electric Zine Maker allows you to embed like a zine right on the itch page, so like you can actually just pull these up and just like click through the pages. What's wrong with that? But mine end up being like usually a decent cover, and then like I basically do text and then I slap some images on there, and that's pretty much my thing. Like white background, some text, like slap some images in there. I actually have a picture of Shigeru Miyamoto in here because like I just slaughtered that pronunciation, but I couldn't resist. That is an open source like usable picture, just because I love that quote anyway. But I just think it's so cool to be able to like pull them up and just like read them in there. You don't have to like download the PDF. You don't have to do any of that. And both of yours are really good so far this month. Like I really like those.
I've enjoyed yours too. Oh, speaking of a fun fact, I share the birthday with Shigeru Miyamoto. He was born on November 16th.
That's awesome. Orion says Sekiro Mia Mallow, which is funny because like Mallow is from Super Mario RPG, so we're getting back to Mario anyway with all of that. Well done.
And hi everyone, welcome to
Yeah, hi everybody.
stream.
We usually get like 2 people a stream, and that's usually Panic there, who's right there, and then sometimes Rochelle or like Julie will come in. So like this is kind of like blowing our minds. We have more than 2 people.
Yes, Scorpio crew.
Oh, of course you would say that, Angel, wouldn't you? I'm a
I
Gemini.
would.
Geminis are best. I'm sorry. There's 2 of us. We all have 2, so we outnumber everybody. Quantity over quality. Yeah, Orion would say Orion. That makes sense. I guess I should talk about what I've been up to too, huh?
Yes.
So I have all these in order here already. One of the first things I did this month was actually just a whole bunch of like introspection, planning, stuff like that. In fact,
I love your rainbow planner, by the way.
thank you. Yeah, I was. If you, oh, I need to do this now. I'm sorry. I'm going to interrupt everything just so I can do this. If you open up a spreadsheet in this is Docs, the spreadsheets. If you go PRIDE, oops, if I could spell, in the top ones, then it turns everything in the rainbow colors. Unfortunately, the second you remove one of those, it undoes it. Like it does, it's permanent. So I had to just like kind of color them myself. But this is a thing I took from Ali Abdal, where you basically write down like one thing, potentially 2, because I can't limit myself to just one thing, for each day. And then you just like at a glance, like this goes all, you can see all the way down to the 31st on each month here. In fact, you can see half of the year just on this one screen, which is saying a lot for me. But you can see what I've done every day. Like these are my big wins for the day. Like the first, I did a lot of introspection and journaling. I wrote some Patreon posts, set up our streaming stuff. I put out a post about streaming. I wasn't feeling well that day, but I didn't write that down because this was positive only. I made the Games Are Us zine. I did a whole bunch of like to-do cleanups and stuff because I'm like way behind on stuff. I'm finally almost caught up. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff here. It's just really simple. Like you just make each month, list of numbers, done. I made Games Are Us, which is a zine that is based on, I was actually talking in Julie's server about, I should actually slap our server like down here, huh? Shouldn't I?
You should.
I
can do that while you're talking.
Oh, can you? You can get in the banners too?
Oh, no, I was just going to throw the link in the like comments.
Oh, no, I have these fancy like banners
off
the screen and everything now.
Well, la-di-da.
Yeah. People still have to like type it out then though, so you can always like paste that. But Games Are Us is a callback to what it was like as a kid to go to Toys R Us and buy new video games. That was always my favorite time of the month, or like every few months or whatever. It ended up being we'd go to the store. Toys R Us had like 2 aisles with video games. I think they're only on one side, but I can't remember. But they would have, I think it was just like a sheet that was like the front and the back, like basically printed on the paper or like a card. So you could look at the box, and then you would take a slip of paper up to the register and pay for it. And then you go to this little like booth looking thing in the back, probably like a layaway center too. And they would give you the video games. So that way people wouldn't steal them or whatever. And it was just like the most magical thing to me, like just the whole experience. Because like most of these games we'd never seen before, like, you know, there was like Nintendo Power and stuff, but we didn't really have like, you know, there wasn't the internet. We couldn't just look at reviews of every single game ever and be like, yeah, this is the one I want, you know. And then on the ride home, I would read the instruction manual because back then instruction manuals were amazing. And then this was a little NES cartridge they had on there, but and they had the slashes, but I added the people in Dragon Fighter 3 to honor Dragon Warrior, my first like RPG that I remember. And then I made, it might be a crappy apology if, which is probably the snarkiest thing I've ever made. I'm almost getting to the point of like I shouldn't say all these things, but this one I made an extra large zine for anyone who sucks at apologizing. There are examples of what a bad apology is, so you can look for it. There is a quick little summary of how to apologize correctly. Um, but yeah, it was basically based on the fact that when I was a kid, what I was told is that when you say you're sorry, it means you'll try really hard to make sure it doesn't happen again. And so like, and I feel like these days, sorry is like, you feel bad, I should say I'm sorry, and then that'll make everything better. Or like, oh, I forgot to make that go away. Or just things like that. People don't actually mean sorry when they say sorry. It's just a word that you say like out of habit.
Like,
Um,
oops, I messed up.
yeah, exactly. So like, I just I if I could make one person learn what a freaking apology is, like I'm done. Like I'm happy with my life. Like, and you're welcome, humanity. Um, what else here? Pull up my notes. I have a lot of notes this time, and I'll be sharing them when we're done here, probably tomorrow, on the YouTube channel. Okay, the other thing I had, I actually want to jump a little ahead here. We're
I'm
doing.
gonna hold on. I'm gonna say a couple things in the comments here.
I'll go for it. Okay.
Orion says that was them at Walmart and Best Buy with DVD aisles. I was saying that,
Oh yeah.
oh yes, I missed the DVD aisles at Best Buy. I do have a story where my brother and I saw a movie that we wanted to see in Walmart that they were playing in the furniture aisle. So we like camped out on a couch and watched all but like 5 minutes of, I think it was Miss Congeniality 2. And they shut it off on us. So we almost had a whole movie watched in the middle of Walmart, which we thought was epic at the time when we were kids. But someone yucked our wow at the last minute.
How dare they? Like you had a movie to watch.
Like,
What
if
are
you
they doing?
want to see it, then you gotta buy it. Like,
Yes.
you know how this ends.
That's Mitchell there that said he really liked. I'm assuming that's Mitchell at least. Like the Mitchell Daily and the Daily Every Day. So I'm assuming that's him. But said really like the apology zine. And Ryan here says something I need to touch on too. The wonder of computer games with their big boxes and the images to tell of the world inside. I remember back to when I had to remember, or yeah, it's Mitchell.
Hi,
Um,
Mitchell.
when we had to write down how to like launch games because all you had was like a CDOS screen and you had to like type in, like run slash whatever and like put in the floppy disk and stuff, which the 3D printed save file.
Hi,
Hey,
Chris.
Chris. I remember. Oh, what game was it? It was. It's not Monkey Island, but it's another game that has something to do with an island, and it was like a puzzle game basically. But it came with an instruction manual that had a map on it, and to prove that you own the game, you had to like put out they gave you coordinates. You had to like say what thing was in that square, and if you were wrong, it would actually like block you out of the game. Because back then it was easier to download a game than it was to download an instruction manual apparently, and so yeah, Ryan knows what I'm talking about. The stall code on the back of the jewel cases too. And yeah, I am shocked at the number of friends here. Thank you everybody for coming by and supporting us here.
Yes, yay.
Oops, I keep clicking on everything because like the chat's actually moving. We are doing we're bringing it back. We did this a few months ago, but this is what's called fit in 150 minutes, and I think that's backwards on your screens, and I'm sorry about that, but I'm not fixing it right now, so I'll do it later. But basically there's these squares that you have. There's 12 of them per sheet, and they look like this basically. They all have these little squares on them here, and each one represents.
Thanks to Rochelle for that art.
Yes, Rochelle made this art, and like she didn't even like ask for anything. Like I think I put her name on it, but like, yeah, art by Rochelle Boggs. But like, she never asked for anything. She's amazing. They actually did 3 different cards too. You can actually see all of them right on the game page here. I should probably share at least one of the links for our stuff in here too. But yeah, there's 3 different arts, so that way you get like 3 different ones. This is like a fantasy one with like swords and like an anvil and stuff. This is a bird one actually. There's an egg, which trans representation too, turning into a bird. There's a worm to eat, and this thing. The 2 things in the middle, by the way, are for strength training. So the whole premise of this is that the fit in 150 minutes is named because the CDC recommends you get 150 minutes of exercise cardio per week. And do 2 10-minute strength training sessions. So the card tracks all of that in 5-minute increments. Angel actually finished her card out already, even though it runs all the way through Sunday. I still have like 27 and a half minutes left to go, but I still have like, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to do it. So it's cool.
I just I'm glad we're doing these cards again because they really help. We haven't been prioritizing getting out and moving, and since we've been so busy doing other things, that this is nice to have.
Yeah, it really is. It's really nice to just like, I mean, I'll forget to do it half the time, and so I have to go back and like, oh yeah, I did do this. But
I
like,
guess we got to gamify all the like boring things in life. So
yeah, that's what I like. That's
fill in
actually
all the fill in all the check boxes. It feels very satisfying.
yes. Actually, when I worked like a really boring job, like when I worked at the movie theater doing box office on a like weekday or something, or like at Kmart when I was selling appliances, I would actually write out like just I would take a piece of paper and I would make a grid on it, and like I would count up like like okay, I have like 185 minutes left, so I'm gonna make 5 minute boxes, and I'm just gonna like every 5 minutes that passes, I'm gonna color one in, so at least I have something to freaking do with my day, and like
That's a good idea.
we went through that faster than I thought, so that's cool. We have other things to go into now. We're going to start with actually Panic was the first one to reach out. We have and I'm probably going to mispronounce this, I apologize, the mystical, well, how do you pronounce that abbreviation, the MX, like the genderless, like you're not Mr. or Mrs., but like the non-gendered. I want to say mix, but that's probably wrong. Uh, Strategos Fortune Kit. Um, This was actually made for the Trans Oracular Jam that ended a few months ago, I want to say.
Yeah, Panic says mix.
Oh, yeah, it is mixed. Okay, cool. Thanks, Panic. Um, but there's this is basically it's almost like it is a horoscope. It's a horoscope, which I thought was really clever. I can't remember exactly what it stands for, but like I remember Panic actually shared the development of this in our Discord server, and we have like channels where people can make like notes and stuff like that for what they create. We do the same thing for our own. But it comes with two different things. There's the virtual quiz, and then there is a guide for what happens there. I was gonna actually play the whole thing right on the stream, but like I forgot that I'm not gonna share the game itself, like because part of it is an exe, not an exe, but like a run file basically. So, but there's this guide to the future here too, which that I can open. Oh, I forgot to put anything in folders because of course I did. Um, okay, here we go. Guide to the future. This is the PDF that I opened. Yeah, this is the right thing, right? I'm sharing that. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So yeah, we even have a thanks to us for this. So thank you.
Oh yeah.
Um, there we go. HOL stands for heroism, openness, and luck. That's funny. We were just talking about luck in the server today. That's awesome. That's really fitting timing. But Panic actually came up with these amazing drawings and like different categories of like, kind of like one of those quizzes, like, which one are you? And then like at the end you get the one you want. Like,
Oh, I love those.
it represents you. Yeah. I forgot which one I was. I actually shared it in the server. I think I was the bear. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was it's just a big bear. And it was very fitting for me, and I appreciated it. It actually worked out. Um, but I love that. I thought it was really cool. And there's actually, I think, Panic's first creation on Itch, too. In fact, I can check that. We just go over to, yeah, there's not even like a see everything by. So yeah, we have that by Panic.
Well, that's epic.
Yeah.
Welcome to Itch.
Yeah. And then we have Chris's Necromancer Heretic, which is funny because I just put Heretic in. Oh, I forgot to touch on it. Oh my goodness. Okay, so before I go into Chris's awesome game too, this is what I'm working on currently. I was trying to figure out what the heck to call it, and I settled on that your group is called the Droplets, or you're the Oasis. You are a droplet, right? Because droplets create ripples, and ripples make change. I had to make a whole page though here. This is by far the most political thing I've ever made. Normally, I am super quiet about anything that could get any kind of hatred or feedback or anything like it's negative. So, like, I'm actually kind of diving all into that this time, though. You are in a post-apocalyptic kind of setting, a dystopian, really, because it's just your nation that's fallen under this oppressive regime. But they are called the Right, which is because they are always right. For no other reason whatsoever. I have winky emojis and stuff here that are just cute and not representative of anything whatsoever. But there's a disclaimer that nothing here is real or based on anything real. And so calm down and anyway, this is so far it's 10 pages, I want to say. Yeah, I'm on page like 10 or 9. I'm aiming for 12 pages. This is half page format, so like if you were to take a like a piece of paper and you folded it in half, like that's the style of zine we're going for here. Um, but Angel a lot of times will do where she'll print it on both sides so that it's more like an actual thing. Like this was actually, I think, yeah, this was my How to Write a Hit Metal song that I made a few weeks ago, and she actually made it like double sided. So when you open it, like it's not stapled to the movie. When you open it, like this is actually like a book instead of just like where you normally have to fold it and then like you have a bunch of extra paper in the middle. So um, hopefully we can do that with this, and it'll be a cool little thing too. But um, so Chris's game.
And back.
Yes.
That's why you
Fitting.
got through that section so quickly because you skipped
Yeah,
that.
but I skipped my like big thing that was as long as everything else combined.
Oopsies.
Um, Chris was nice enough to send this our way. I'd put out a call for people like, hey, you know, if anybody's worked on anything recently, let me know. And we're friends with both Chris and Panic. So there are no community copies in the moment, but it's totally worth the $3. In fact, if you head over to first, I'm jumping all everywhere. First,
Yes, you
Panic's.
are.
I'm super energetic. Apparently, I don't even need coffee anymore. I can just get on stream and I'll be hyper as heck.
There you go.
But yeah, Panix is 100% free. In fact, you can't pay for it. It allows you to set things where it's just downloaded and you don't even accept payments. That's what this is set to. So just download it and play it. This one is $3 on sale right now, normally 4. But also, if you go over to this page here, Chris has a bundle of everything. I'm assuming this is for the summer sale. It's just running. Yeah, it's too hot out. It's got to be. But it looks like either all of his games or a lot of his games are in here. And if anyone's familiar with me talking about games, I almost always bring up Cool Ranch because it's just such a cool example of what you can do with a game. Like it's you basically gamify eating a bag of chips, and you collaboratively storytell at the same time. Um, but anyway, this game is called Necromancer Heretic, and I will pull up the PDF for that too because we got approval on doing so. Angel actually, like when she was looking at this, said that the layout on it was really cool, and I love this. I am very much, if you look at my stuff, I mean, there's
Rebecca says, just get all of Chris's games. Sorry to interrupt you.
oh no, it's cool. I totally agree. Yeah, 100% get all of Chris's games. Chris is also, if you are a creator, um, I think that Chris's stuff is a great way to learn and like kind of get inspired to do a whole bunch of different things, like the zines and like all different kinds of stuff.
That's what I love about this little community too, is that everybody kind of experiments with their own thing, like their own signature and what they do, and it's exciting seeing them do them and what they can create with that. And a lot of people like hack the systems from different people and share with that, and so it all makes us grow in different ways. Learning from layouts with Chris and like the clever things that define games for him, and going to different creators and finding their little niche and picking up a little bit of that to make your own.
Yeah, I agree. I like to say that I'm a sponge. Like I just basically take cool stuff I find elsewhere and stick it together, and then that's what I make. In fact, if you look at most of my stuff, it's based on like stoicism or something I've found, or it's a hack of something, or honestly, even this game here, the Last Droplet, is 100% based on Angel's thing, which also feeds in here. Angel's making her like we both have one zine left for our zine year fulfillment. Angel's is based on poker and uses like a poker hand for expressing everything. Mine uses the Yahtzee system. But it uses 6 dice because that's totally different.
Oh, I thought you were going to do blackjack.
I was going to, but I was like, I want to do dice because you're doing, like yours is a card game, mine's a dice game.
Yeah,
Yours
that's cool.
Past tense, mine's future. Yours is you are the person hunting somebody. Mine is you are the one being hunted. So one is dead or alive is like completely opposite takes. But I would not have made this if not for Angel because like a lot of my stuff is stolen from Angel. In fact, the it might be a crappy apology if is 100% Angel's fault. I wanted to do one about bad apologies, and I was just gonna do like a, hey kids, this is how you tell an apology or say an apology. Like this is what makes it good. And Angel's like, what if you did it like in the style of like you might be a redneck if, and so it might be a crappy apology if was born.
Hmm.
Uh, so we have Necromancer Heretic again for the fifth time I'm saying that, and this is a solo game that uses blackjack. So all three of those things feed into each other. Like it's perfect. I actually read this beforehand because I wasn't familiar with it until then. I've not played this yet, but I want to. It's really cool though. You actually use a deck of cards, and you actually get this supply area of cards. And then there are three guards that are trying to stop you from resurrecting a dead prince. And so you are trying to resurrect this prince very quickly while also battling off the guards. If you can gain 5 points before you take 10 damage, then you win the game. And you get a point every time you hit exactly 21 points with your cards. But you're able to help yourself out with that to some extent because you have this like supply of cards. You're not just randomly drawing from the deck, or else I'm sure you'd never win. But it's a really cool blend of like it's blackjack. So I mean, pretty much everybody's familiar with how to play blackjack. But at the same time, you have these like different phases where you can use the cards for their special abilities. Here, you have three opponents that you're fighting at the same time. So you're trying to deal these cards to them. You can force them to bust, and then you won't take damage from them because you take damage from them if any of their piles are a higher number than yours without going over 21, of course. Um, and then there's even like journaling here. There's like there are past, present, and future prompts depending on whether you were hurt or not that turn, or gained a point that turn. And then there's even like I want to say 6 page, yeah, 6 pages of gameplay example toward the end. So just in case you were a little confused about something or whatnot, it is very, very defined through there. And yeah, I love the art in this game. I actually talked to Chris a little bit about it beforehand. Um, Thank you, Chris, for saying so about the last droplet. Um, he actually got this art online and had made this game like themed it around that artwork. And like I said to him, I legit thought that he paid an artist to do these things because I mean they're perfectly fitting of this game. Like you wouldn't know otherwise. So I really love. Thank you, Angel, for sharing the link to that too. I really love when a game takes something simple and basic and then just expands the living heck out of it. Like I think that's one of my favorite things in games. That's why I really love like Slay the Spire and things like that. I've even played some like blackjack like roguelikes and stuff on itch and Steam where you like you play blackjack or you play poker or whatever, and like that's your system for getting through this dungeon or whatever. I just really like that. I also love journaling in games, and it's 100% optional too, which is my favorite way to do it. So that way, if you just really want to like beat the game, you can do that. But if you want to sit there and you want to journal, you can also do that. Also, thank you, Angel, for sharing that too. Um, if you're watching this later, you can pause. Of course, when those come up. Now that that's in the past, you knew it would be too late for you to know that. But anyway. I did have one bonus thing I wanted to share too, especially since Rebecca is actually here. And I'd meant to add it and I forgot. But this is Forage Teller, which is something that Rebecca made. And I'll throw this one in the chat because I didn't have this on my notes. But I love this one. She's also running a sale where you can get, I don't know if this is everything that Rebecca's made or not. But it's you get all of her for $4. I remember Trash Companion was actually part of a jam that I was in too, and I looked at it and it's super cute.
I remember that. Did that make it into the bundle for the Tiny Library bundle?
Oh, I don't know. I do know. I had mentioned this to Rebecca that I really liked this, and she had said that this was actually like made for looping back again here, Chris's Tiny Keepsake Jam. So this was actually created for the jam, and it's really cool because it's basically like what do you call it? It's like a cookie catcher. Is that what the name of that is? Just a little like like you open it up and like you pick a number or whatever, you open it up, and then basically these represent what you find while you're on an adventure. like in another game or whatnot. So basically, you just kind of like if you're playing your own RPG, you can use this as your system for what you find when you go out or whatnot, and you can interpret those however you want. So like that deer might not be a deer, it might be, like an animal in general, or like the note might be any kind of quest, or so you're not stuck with exactly what that is. And then there's like elements and like it's all really cool. I love anything that allows you to cootie catcher. Thank you. And yeah, Chris said the same thing. Cootie catcher. I don't know why I said cookie catcher. Maybe I just want some freaking cookies. Um, oh no, I didn't think about that. You're right. Today's 7-Eleven day. Panic says he forgot to visit 7-Eleven. Our closest 7-Eleven is like an hour away. Also, Rebecca says the trash companion is in Tiny Library 2, which is awesome. Wow. Yeah, I'm actually flying through stuff today. I really thought this was going to be like 2 hours. Oh, Angel, hold on 1 second. That's why you've been so quiet, Angel. Angel accidentally closed the screen with StreamYard on it, and so she was out of the screen, and I'm so busy flipping between things I didn't even notice. But she's back now. Hey. Oh, okay. Rebecca says that Forage Teller is a play on Fortune Teller, which is perfectly fitting too, because like, you're foraging, and also like it's a kind of a fortune teller. That's what those things were originally made for. Is like, like in school, like people would open this up and like this is going to happen to you, or like whatever. Like,
I've always wanted to make one of those. I saw someone make a zine out of that, and I really wanted to try that. Every time I try to line it up in Canva, I don't do it well. I may just have to physically make one and then copy it in, because it's just not working out otherwise.
Oh no. I forgot to touch on 2 things here too. One, this is, and that's a lot of links, so I don't expect anybody to like look at that on screen and type it all out. But that is our mini zine July 2024 hype bundle. We're basically giving away all of our 2023 zines. You can get them all for free from last year's mini zine July. And I know you went over the 2023 prompts, but I don't think we touched on the 2024s yet.
Yeah, I went over those too. I don't know if I read them all. I think I stopped at before and after. But we can go over them again because there's other people here.
Yeah, they're on the screen here. But Celebration, Angel made Lone Souls for that, and I made The Games Are Us for that. Reminder Zine, Angel made I Say Be a Child, and I made the It Might Be a Crappy Apology If. And then we haven't gotten to these yet because today is just now the 11th. But for before and after, I am going to be making a game about, it's actually for the queer Halloween bundle, where you're supposed to make something based on kind of like reminds you of Halloween. So I want to make one of like a transgender woman looking in the mirror, wondering if like everything about her is a costume. It's about dysphoria and like, like, am I just playing being a girl? Is, like, am I doing this for attention? Just all the like negative thoughts that run through your head as you transition. Because I feel like that's the scariest thing possible. I'm very lucky that I am past that phase now. I can let this beard grow in for like a month and I don't care. It doesn't bother me any. Like, a woman can have facial hair. It doesn't matter. And then for fanzine, we actually watched the movie If like 2 or 3 days ago. And
that movie was so precious.
It was really precious. Like, I almost fist fought Angel's brother the other day because they were watching it. He was all like, "Oh, that's a good way to make 40 minutes pass with nothing happening." I'm like, "Are you freaking kidding me right now?" I'm gonna like bust you up, but like I didn't, because
like, have some feelings.
Yeah. Aw. Rebecca says that she can make a template version of hers. Oh, and you already said that'd be great. So yeah.
Hi, Julie.
Julie has a template already too. Julie here, by the way, I know I say this every single time I see Julie, but Julie has an amazing Patreon where she shares like meanings behind words and like just like historical stuff about things, and like it's really cool to see. And then also mails out some really epic stuff. We actually have our first postcard coming in the mail here soon.
Yeah, I'm excited.
We'll be sharing that on stream whenever we get it. Whenever we get it and 4 days pass, because we quarantine everything for 4 days. Nothing against anybody in particular, just we do that. But for fanzine, because of the movie If, I am making basically like a spiritual sequel to Everyday Enchanter, where you play as a summoner who is summoning little creatures or whatever to your side to help you when you need them. So like if you're not feeling confident, you can summon like a cheerleader to yourself, and they'll cheer you on. And or if you just really need to make a decision, maybe you'll summon like a some army, like what do they call those people, like the boot camp, instructors or whatever, to like kind of force you to make a decision or whatever, just something that will help you in your day or whatever. And then like you can all like, kind of like that picture of like the grand quest where everybody's going out together. I want something like that to happen in people's minds. I think that Everyday Enchanter was really well received because you got to enchant your stuff, and kind of help you through your day. It helped me a lot, actually. Like I needed it, and I still use it from now and then. Like if I like don't want to wake up in the morning, I'm like, yeah, my alarm clock is making me magically like awake, so it's cool. I picked up my pen to play with it, and I wanted to share this too. Rochelle, for my birthday, sent 2 different things. I don't have the notebook over here. That was really cool. It actually has some like song quotes that I have from our server, and I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but this actually says, like, it has the Beth and Angel Make Games like logo that's right in the corner, like right on the pen. It actually works really well too. It's like a nice writing pen, and it's pink. Pink is the best. Maybe a little biased here, but I do like pink. Speaking of which, we skipped all over Discovered is next. Okay. So we each discovered some things in addition to the things that we played over this last week. Do you want to go first, Angel? I have been hogging the heck out of the microphone.
I just don't like to interrupt, so I never know when to talk.
Oh, you can talk anytime. I'll stop. Like, don't worry. Like, you're not interrupting me.
Well, it feels like it. I get like.
I understand.
Okay, so I think the first one is we were talking in our Discord about like the I Went To games, and I don't know how it came about, but one of our members ended up making I went to Twilight Town once, and I am a huge fan of Kingdom Hearts and that series, and have played through all those games since I was younger, all the way into like, not so young, I guess we'd say. When the third one came out, I feel like we waited 20 years for that
It was
game.
so long.
It was like, so long.
It's like the "it's been 84 years" meme.
Yes, like, but for real.
Yeah.
And so when I went to Twilight Town once, came along, it felt very, very nostalgic, like revisiting the game, and I find it really precious. The I Went To series kind of puts you through a setting, and everybody is reminiscing about the time that they went there. And so you roll dice and you find out the situation or person or event that happened, and then you all talk about it until you end up rolling and having that happen a couple times, and then it's time to stop the game. So I just really loved this. I thought it was the perfect topic for this kind of game, and I'm mad that I didn't think about it. We had done I went to Wonderland. I went to Bourbon, Indiana once, which was kind of a snarky version of, hey, come check out our tiny town that has one stoplight and a video store / ice cream parlor / tanning salon, which actually went out of business, but now we have a ice cream parlor / antique store instead. So they've made up for that with their little hyphenated. We have like a pizza / Subway, and like all of the little places where they can cram all of the businesses they can into one place. But yeah, I did you want to say more about that game?
The only thing I wanted to add, I guess 2 things. One, Aaron's awesome. Aaron's in our server. He's been really cool to have there. Both he and Panic are very active in the server, and we're super happy to have them there. Yes. Julie's there too. Chris is there too. And Orion's there. So we're just very happy to have everybody there. But really like the 2 of them, like kind of really sharing what they're making, what they're doing, stuff like that. Panic says, "I'm gonna be the mayor of Hell, Michigan." And then for another thing, I didn't realize this till just now when I was looking through it. But there's in the credits, it says, "As always, a special thank you to Beth and Angel for being such awesome people, besties for life."
Aww.
So that's awesome. That game is also It's name your own price, which is what most people do on itch. um, where if you click this here, it'll ask you if you want to pay something. You can just click no thanks, take me to the download. So it is free if you want it to be free, but you can also like tip people if you like what they make. Oh my goodness, I want to click this notification so bad. I hate notifications and not clicking them so much.
I'll click it.
Ryan says, antiquating corner store of the Indiana rural economy. Yes, or antiquing. Sorry, yes, I can't read.
And
But
if you
yeah,
don't want to check out that game, I put a link to. Sorry, go ahead.
thank you for doing my job for me here. I guess we could take turns on what we share or what we discovered.
I got we got followed by Manuel Munster. That's what the like.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
thank you for the follow. I wanted to say that, that I already have this written out, so I'm basically just going to read it. I kind of had an awakening this month that like I always felt like I just happened to have good stuff happen to me, but it was never my fault. Like, hey, I found some success here and there, and lucky me. I never felt like a serious game creator, streamer, or anything else. But everyone I know is, even if they aren't. They all seem so far above and beyond me. I think in part because of this niche I've created for myself and only focusing on some aspects of things like creating and not marketing. But I'm working hard to overcome that now. I like this layout for the stream, and I love using our own accounts, even if there are fewer followers, because they're our followers. We actually felt the same way. I'm jumping in and adding, because of course I am. When we first made our server, we did that like a year ago. I wanted to make it back then, and I was like, it'd be really cool to just have our own separate server for Quirky Bird Games, which is our Patreon. It'd just be great to have that space. And we were doing Quirky Bird with Carla, who wanted us to keep using the Weird Draft Games server, which makes sense because she does Weird Draft Games, so kind of share space makes sense. And eventually I just kept pushing, and once we split off from Carla, I was like, I'm making our own server, like this is happening. And I did it, and like we have way fewer people, but we get 100 times the interaction. Like, and I would much rather have interaction than people, you know what I mean? Like I would rather have like one fan than like 50 people who like follow but don't ever talk or anything.
That always reminds me of that thing you do when there's someone cheering in the back and he's like, it's our fan.
Yes, our fan. Like, and it's amazing how like powerful even just one person, let alone like there's like 10 people in chat with us right now, like 10 people it can be, like just to really encourage you to keep doing what you're doing. And you were talking a little bit about the TTRPG and zine community, how we all kind of like share what we do, and like we celebrate each other and stuff like that. I think that's really powerful because we all bring our own strengths and stuff to things. Like some people are more artistic, some people are better writers, some people are really good at layout, some of us like Chris are good at all of it.
Yes.
And like also photographing, like if you look at any of Junk Food Games, it's Chris's itch pages, like I swear like Chris must hire somebody to take these photos or something. I don't even know, but like I'm not jealous, you are. Like it's just like really high quality stuff, and
I'll have to up my game.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you had like any space or time, I'm sure you could do it too. But like,
well, I had fun when we did the was it Tim Sean? Is that how you say his name?
Oh yeah.
When we did that contest, he does board game photographs, and he challenged people to take a photo of whatever board game you have sitting around. And I actually got honorable mention at least. So there was like 3 winners and then 3 honorable mentions, and I got a free T-shirt that talked about the, what was it, the glowing hour, like I think, and
golden hour.
The golden hour, that's it. So I was excited about that. Like, so at least there was a little something there. But when I actually put some effort into composing a picture instead of just throwing it on a table and being like, here's our zine.
I was really surprised by that because like I am very much the type of person that's like, the quicker I can get something done, the quicker I can do more things, and I'm a quantity over quality person in general. But like just taking a little extra time to like, set up those photos, or like we actually like I made a little layout here. I've never done that before on Twitch. Like I put a little cute rainbow across the corner and stuff like that, and that took me like half an hour to make this thing, if not longer. But like I like it. It's happy. Like I'm cool with that.
Whereas like, yeah, I'll make something and be over here folding it, and like you do the test one and like no, we'll have to fold this again or do another one. And I'm like, I made this so that we can, like, if it's good, then we can actually, use that one. But yeah, I just kind
Yeah.
of.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that like it's fair. Like this was I made Their Shadows Slumber, the Xenoarchaeologist the other day. This is actually what I mean, by the way, when I say that like most zines, when you fold them, see if I get the light a little better. When you fold
Oh.
them, you have the like extra pages in between because they're folded. So
Hmm.
like I can't.
Yeah, like the 4-page
Anyway,
zines. Yeah.
yeah, like it's basically folded paper. My goodness, how far back do I have to go? Anyway, like there's just like it's like
We can kind of see.
that's cool. And so I just slap them together. Like, okay, the pages look fine. I'm good. Bye. Like, done with it. And then Angel has to remake it later. But
Also,
um,
that's not a humble thing that I allow, is the whole like my phone camera is nice. It is not just about your camera, Chris. Like, I am sorry. I cannot abide that. Like I think out of all the like backwards compliments is like, oh, you must have a good camera. Like, no, I take good pictures. You could have my camera and you're not going to take that picture. I've practiced. I do this. You take the time to make sure the lighting's right and setting things up. So, you know, yeah, it's not just your camera. Like, a camera doesn't do all that work. It doesn't set up the picture and
that's fair. Yeah.
like, no, don't allow that.
Your next thing was the minis in July. Like
Which,
the
yeah, we have touched
shared
upon,
ones.
right? But I keep looking at the there's a hashtag on Instagram for the mini zine July 24. I've really enjoyed going through that and searching it so that you can see what other people's zines are. And I found a few that I thought were really cool. It gives me a little bit of time to kind of check out something quickly because I've been really busy. So just taking a little break and going on Instagram and checking out what other people did for the reminder zines and stuff. The one that's on the screen is, I've got to check my notes for who made that now because I had a couple of them. Where'd we go? From Utterzine. And they did a really cool zine where they used like an artist mannequin and then posed it for different stretches. The prompt was reminder, and they had to be reminded to do their therapy stretches for their knee. And I just thought that was really clever to use the little mannequin and take pictures and pose them in each of their um, stretches so that they remember to do them and how and the proper form for them. Um, they ended up commenting back to something I said, that the little mannequin resisted some of those poses just as much as they do, and that just cracked me up. So I love the layout of Utterzine's zines and just like kind of understatedness of theirs. They did like A to Z challenge, and they did a zine for every letter of the alphabet, and I just
Oh, that
loved.
was that. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, that's that person, and I just loved all their little layouts and the topics that they chose, and so I keep an eye out on their profile quite a bit just to see what they're up to. And then the
Yeah,
other,
that's Utter Zine. Yeah, Chris.
yeah,
Also, for those not familiar, that's what a zine looks like before it's folded, right here. Or I mean, I guess it's after it's
yeah,
folded, but
that's a
that's
mini
folded.
zine. There are a bunch of different kinds, but that's the
Mhm.
one we mainly do. And it's a one sheet. Some people print on like the 8x5x11, and some use like the A4 zines. I think that might be A4 because it seems a little longer. Um, it gives them just a little bit more room. It's like half an inch or so. But yeah, you can do 8 little pages on that one page and then fold it up and it fits in your pocket. So we really love that format.
St. Bailey's here is asking, aren't those called chapbooks? And that is very possible. I know I've heard that term.
I think, let me look that up. I think there's something else that is chapbook, but I thought that was the like the half sheet zines like that we've been doing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Basically, that is kind of a different name for a zine, and it can be different formats. But a lot of times, a chapbook is kind of a pamphlet or they do like where you cut 8 by 5 by 11 in half, and then you end up stapling them all together, their front and backs. That's what we just finally started figuring out and doing.
Yeah, we've been playing a lot with formats this month for Minis in July and for our Xenuary stuff.
The other zine that I was going to talk about was I have been keeping an eye on Made by America. I think I'm saying that right. That's, I think, a thing of contention for her was I think it's like Eureka, so it's Marika, like Made by Marika.
Yeah.
But I love how artistic some of the things that she does are. The zine that she did for a reminder was to remind her of Frankel's theories. Logos is the Greek word that denotes meaning and also spirit. And the zine follows the basic mini zine format, but has paper cuts, and pages create layers and dimension. And I just love how they're kind of tapered and all of the colors show through. She inked each of the pages, and then all of those colors show through on each of the folds. So they kind of run over the side and they kind of run together. And I just think it looks so neat.
I totally agree. I really like that. Like it's a really unique format. Like I think that's one of the really cool things about zines in general is that you can just like, do so many different things with it. Like there are people that make like perzines, just things about like your life. There are things like there are fanzines. So like if you like we did one about the Princess Bride. Actually, we did two about the Princess Bride.
Yeah, that was one
could,
of our crowdfunder topics.
Yeah, you can do them about like with poetry in it or just photography. Like Angel has a couple photography ones. Actually, the three of them were made for the Minis in July 2023.
Yeah, I was talking about those earlier.
Yeah, exactly. So like, there's just all kinds that you can do, and like you could, I mean, like if you look at the videos about like examples of them, like sometimes people just draw like a shoe or something, like.
I was wondering that too, Chris. Sorry, Chris had said, I wonder if those are paper cuts or done by hand. I was wondering if that was a stamp or if it was, or like a punch, or if it was by hand. I couldn't figure that out myself either. Like kind of maybe like the snowflake type thing where they're folded and then they cut through all of the pages, but I'm not sure.
I did pull up too. Angel just messaged me this other one from Made by Marika. That like folds open and then like
it's an explosion one.
Yeah. That's funny. It's actually called that because that's what it looks like. It looks like
right.
In fact, the text says a zine that opens into a giant, colorful hug. In fact, speaking of Made by Marika here, that is actually the only person on Patreon that Angel was like, "Hey, can we follow this person?" And like just for free follow, not like paid like subscription or anything. And like every time she posts something, I forward it to Angel so she can see it. But I just think it's so cool, like seeing that. This reminds me of Amy Bio's tabletop games. She's actually the person that probably convinced me that you can just make uplifting stuff and people will be interested in it. Because she has games like there's like a game called Flatter Me, where you just kind of give each other compliments and things like that. And like that's a game, and like people bought it. Like it crowdfunded on Kickstarter, and like people bought it. So like people are very interested in just being nice, and and making each other happy and stuff. I think that's awesome. So like a lot of what we make is very uplifting, very like self-reflective, stuff like that. So and you're welcome, Julie, of course.
I'll link the America one too. She also has a Patreon, like Beth said, that she posts updates and stuff on, and I really enjoy watching what she's creating because she's one of them that did the actual. We were talking earlier about the fortune teller, like the cootie catcher. She's the one that did the cootie catcher zine.
Oh, okay, that's cool. That's awesome.
She's always pushing what a zine is, and I love that.
Yes, I love that too. I really like just pushing anything in a direction that's like new and different and like
ideas,
haha. Like,
That program is called the Electric Zine Maker.
yeah,
I'll actually get you a link if I can find it real quick. There is a really nice page that shows exactly how to do the part of getting it onto itch. So that I learned a lot from that page.
yeah. We didn't even, like. I saw Electric Z Maker at one point. And I was like, this is confusing as heck. I have no idea. And
Yeah,
then
we actually don't use the Electric Zine Maker. We use the framework for it, and then just put our files in there. We create on Canva, then we're able to just put our images in that and put it right into Itch, and it's not very hard.
yeah, it's literally just like you put the images for it in the file and or the folder rather, and then you rename them. So it has to be like front, inside front or something, and then like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then back. And then you just basically you zip it all up and you're done. Like that's it. Like you upload that to Itch. Like you have to set some things on there to read it, and then that was it. Like it's several different steps, but they're all very quick once you know what you're doing. Um, I had a few more things here for what we've been up to.
I think that this is the link. Sorry to interrupt you.
Cool.
For the HTML5 thing, this showed how to. They actually use the Electric Zine Maker to, show the directions for it and what code to change and how to do that. So that helped us a lot.
Yeah,
You can always jump in our Discord and ask us questions too if you need help with that. We're always willing to help people out so you can get more stuff on Itch. Check it out.
that sounds like a call for me to like put my banner back out there. Boom! I am prepared for once.
Boom.
I'll let that run for a minute while I talk about stuff we've seen. In addition to watching If yesterday, a couple days ago, I want to say, we also watched. It was 2 days ago because we watched another movie yesterday. We watched Sneaky Pete, and we finally finished that at the beginning of the month. I keep wanting my only note about that show is that I keep wanting to call it Skinny Pete because of Breaking Bad, I guess.
Well, it's because he's on there too. Not Skinny Pete, but I hate when my brain blanks for names. Bryan Cranston is on there.
Oh yeah,
So
that's true.
yeah, that confuses the fact even more.
Yes, that's fair. I will accept that as good reason. Thank you, Julie. Oops, wrong button. Julie says, nice banner. Thank you. This is all StreamYard. StreamYard's awesome. Like you can just like type in these things, these banners, and then you click on it, and it'll just like play it for you automatically. And I had those 3 saved so far, but you can do a lot with it too. We watched that, which it was an okay show. I feel like it was always like every season was kind of weird because it was like it started off and you're just like whatever, who cares, and then like a little over halfway through, it's like okay, this is kind of interesting. And the last couple episodes are like it's kind of like a heist movie, but like in TV form. So like each season is like a heist movie. So the last couple episodes are the like really intense, like oh we triple crossed you and we did this thing, and like so there's just a lot of that. We also watched Alone together, which it was really cool seeing Katie Holmes actually wrote and directed it in addition to starring in it.
And it
really
was
cool
put out
seeing...
during the pandemic, so.
Oh, it actually was. I didn't know that. I knew it was
Yeah.
about the pandemic and like basically like when there was lockdown and stuff. But I didn't know it was actually written during it too. That's really cool.
Yeah, I think it was released in 2022, so it was like right after, but
Okay.
we're still in the pandemic, so.
Yeah, fair. I also really want to share this song. I love this song so much. This song is awesome. It's my life now. I want to listen to it like every like 5 minutes because it's really good. The song is called Currents, and it's by a band called... I'm sorry, the band is called Currents. It's the only song of theirs that I'm like a big fan of. But the song is called Better Days, and it's just this like really, really cool... Like I'm a metalhead, so like I like screamy stuff anyway, but it's a really cool blend of like very melodic music blended with like there's some screaming, there's a lot of singing, and then the end of it, like I love when bands do that. Mudvayne did a really cool job of it with I cannot remember the name of that song. But yeah, they basically kind of go back and forth, and at the end of it they combine the main chorus with like one of the screamy parts, and so like you get like some of the singing and some of the screaming back, and then like it just kind of like layers really cool. But it's just like it's kind of covers everything that I like in a song because I love melodic stuff like Blind Guardian and Rhapsody in Fire and
I
stuff like
don't
that.
think
But I
you've
also
even
know
played this for me.
oh no, I don't think I have.
You
I've
have
played it a
to.
lot over here, so you might have heard like little clips of it or something. But
Yeah, you have to play it for me later.
I will. Yeah, it's really good. I also the reason I like the song so much, I want to pull them up real quick. In fact, I would do it in the screen that I'm sharing. I'm not going to read the whole lyrics, but the reason I love the song so much is because of the lyrics. I love anything that can really capture. I'm very bipolar, so anything that can capture bipolar and depression just like really gets me. But the chorus goes, "You follow your sorrows for better days. We've waited for how long? How long? You follow your sorrows. We spiral downward endlessly, but is the bottom where we're meant to be?" And I just love that. And it basically goes from like this person basically like spiraling really hard into depression, and then like tell me why I can't get up, why can't I get up, chained to the ground, and then like, but I'm bound to break free. Pride's running through my veins. My chains lay flat around me. Like I'm done with this. And then at the end, you have that chorus of like both back and forth, kind of battling each other. And I feel like that's what my depression does. Depression, for me at least, is very like, you're depressed now. This is your life. Have fun with that. If you want to get out of it, I'm going to convince you why not to. Thanks for coming by, Rebecca. It was awesome seeing you. Um, I just love when anything can capture that, especially metal. Like, if I could scream something and get emotional at the same time, like I am, like that's my jam. But like, that doesn't happen very often. And then two more things. I've been playing a lot of Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms lately. Just to touch on that, I usually have it running in the background. It's a really cool game. It's an idle game, so you can just run it in the background. But it's based on formations. So like your different people will be on the screen at the same time, and they all like empower each other and they work together and stuff like that. It's like cool, it's kind of puzzly because all the different levels have different restrictions on them, or different enemies that you require like different strategies to beat. And then one other tabletop game actually to share here. This is called One Page Haven. I am not a fan of horror at all, but this game is incredible. It's based on something called One Page Left, made by M. Curran, and the
I still
game.
need to check out that SRD.
Yeah, there isn't actually an SRD; it's just a hack.
Oh, okay. I'll have
Like
to check out the original
when you're
one.
when you're done playing this game, you end up with something like this. It just looks like absolute like mania, like hysteria, like losing it. You know, like it's just amazing. You have these little images here. You have like just the writing, because when the game ends, you write over everything. In fact, I think one of the endings you actually write like as they're coming to kill you, like what is the last thing you scream at them, and so you write that over everything else. But this is called. It's based on One Page Left, and so the premise is that you have one page for the game, and all the different prompts, which is on this page here. No, I'm sorry. The prompts are the other page. This is the rules for playing it. It's one page of rules, one page of prompts. And this is like pay what you want, so you can get this for free too. Here's a link to it. But basically, as you are, yeah, actually, Panic here shares his D&D notes every week, and actually posts a link to the stream when it's going on too. I keep not being able to listen and stuff. But like I did come by once and watch it, and it was really cool. But Panic has really awesome notes, like in drawing form, from what happened during the D&D session that are really neat. But this game is just so cool. You have the space, and all the prompts tell you to like write something or draw something, and you have your page to fill. So you're trying not to fill too much of it, because if you write over your own writing in any way, shape, or form, like something bad happens to you.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so it actually like makes a mechanic of the space of the paper that you have too. And then like the things you draw are like sometimes are positive. Like that's why some of these here are X'd out on this page, because this is that person's lucky symbol. So when something good happens, you get those, and then when something bad happens, you cross them out. Or if you don't have any, then you're in trouble. And I just think it's a really cool concept. I want to make something that's not horror with it, because all of them so far seem like they've been horror, and I'm just not a horror creator, so that wouldn't be me. But I love that system, that theme, that concept. Like it's so cool. And like Chris actually, like I touched on before, actually ran a jam for Keepsakes where either you create or the game itself is a keepsake. And I love anything they call them artifact games, where you create something throughout the game. I've seen somewhere like you're making like a friendship bracelet, and the beads represent different things happen in the game, or you're just writing on a piece of paper and you're drawing something, and that drawing was created from the game. I've even seen where like you take a jar and like you fill it with trinkets. I think it was it Chris actually that made it. There was one where you actually create a what do you call it? Like an altar, basically. Like
Yes,
you,
it was.
oh, it's Chris. Okay, yeah, you actually like line up different items like on like a table or like piano bench or whatever, and like this is an altar to something, and so all these things are related to it somehow, and like when you're done, you can put those things away and it's done. But like you could take a photograph and you've created something, and even in the moment, you've created this altar, like or whatnot. So I love when you are making something that then lives forever,
I
even if
think
you
it was
throw
a
it.
shrine for something forgotten.
That makes sense. Do you remember that? Yeah. Okay. Um, I should pull that up. Junk food games, and then we just go down here. Um,
I think I finally have kind of like I guess it wouldn't be because we don't alter it, but like I've finally made something that's kind of an artifact game that we'll be releasing after we give it to the crowdfunder folks.
oh,
Um,
cool.
so that was the one game that I based on our It's Always a Window
Yeah.
um, thing. So like you end up going out and finding something, and then um, you sorry, my brain is not working today. I keep getting distracted by stuff.
Welcome to my world. Yeah.
So I'm trying to pull up the notes for it. So give me just a second.
You're right. While you are doing that, I'll just maybe we can reach out to M, who created the one page left game, and we can create some kind of jam around it. Like
That'd be
just like
great.
yeah, like we can like while you are like I'm gonna pull it up, and then when you're done, I will message M and ask about that. Um, I know that M has a few different like SRDs and systems. It would be cool to see something like that. Hey, Chris says he'd be into that too. So yeah, it'd be awesome. We really want to make SRDs of our stuff too. I've always embraced the fact that like if anybody were ever to make anything based on what we make, like not only are we cool with that, but like we'll actually share it. We have just good cooking. Yeah, I think that was the name of the game. I made this for Hyper 1 Hour Jam. Yeah, there we go. Ty Barbary here had made a game based on it, and so I actually like embedded. You can embed another game onto your itch page, and we embedded it right on there. So that way, if people are like looking at this game, they'll be interested in that too. In fact, this one is pay what you want, and that one's free too. So you can just get both of them now. You can even just click right here, download now, and then boom, you get it like without having to leave our page.
Okay,
But
I found it.
perfect timing.
It was based on a prompt from the zine idea generator, and the prompt was to make a tabletop RPG zine that creates a persona around found objects. And so I used our There's Always a Window little system and made something where you go out for a walk and you keep an eye out for just something lost on the ground, whether it be like a can or a glove or
I remember this.
a rock, something that you can find. You bring this home and then you take notes on this thing that you found and you personify it. So there's just different card prompts to talk about the personification of this item, and different journal prompts to write about it.
That's awesome. I love stuff like that. I'm really excited about that one too because I'm like I want to like we need to play test that a lot for research, and so I can go collect a bunch of stuff. I like to say that I'm a minimalist because like I hate stuff. Like I hate it so much. Like I used to love it and I used to collect things, and like one of those like we'll have all these awesome nerdy things for our room one day, and like then it's like, well, that's not gonna happen. So like it's still nice to have some. Like I have Angel got me these. They're dusty as heck, so I apologize in advance. But as part of like a birthday present or Christmas present, they have like like all the whole set of like the Fallout cards in my desk area. But I will 100%. I think it was Panic or Aaron in our server actually like raven it up like bird, the raven bird, like just collect all the things, hoard them like treasure. In fact, Panic had actually shared in our server recently like a bag of like different little trinkety things.
Those were cool.
Yeah, so definitely. Oh yeah, Panic was talking about that earlier too in the server.
Oh, I was.
Um,
Go ahead.
Embedding audio into a PDF. It was also the creepiest potential use of audio that I've ever heard in my life, and I am not at all. So, like,
I know that, like, speaking of hoarding things and different stuff, I went to Israel with my grandmother right after 9/11. Actually, it was in November, so I've been a couple months have passed, but they weren't letting a whole lot of tourists in, and there was still some conflict happening. We had gone like through this one pass, and later on the news we saw where someone had taken and launched an RPG off of the hill we had passed, and just weird stuff like because we had a Palestinian and Israeli like a tour guide and bus driver, they let us like skip checkpoints, and so we'd pull over like beside a checkpoint and then like cross a mound to get into town because they wanted the tourists in there and didn't want to hassle us. It just felt really weird. But all that to say, we had these two women there that would collect things like everywhere we went. They had a piece of luggage just to bring all the junk like that they collected, rocks and shells, and they filled water bottles up with water from the River Jordan, and just everywhere they had like a little memorabilia from like a piece of nature from these areas, that had biblical significance and such, like the River Jordan and the Dead Sea and things like that. They had gotten some sand from there. And of course, they were the ones that were stopped by customs when we got into the US and were asked to, open their bags, and they had to throw out everything they had collected. And I had some shells and some rocks and things like that, but it wasn't nearly as much as they had, because I think that they were bringing back for everybody in their church or something. I'm not sure, but they had enough to, supply many people with little souvenirs. And I just like kind of passed with my few seashells while they got to dump out everything in their bag. I felt so bad for them.
yeah,
Oh yeah, the Dead Sea Panic is very buoyant because it's got so many minerals and stuff in it. You actually can't like sink in it. Like you actually float where
oh,
you
weird.
can kind of sit on the water. Like your butt like will kind of be in the water, but the rest of you just kind of like repels out of it. It's almost like you can't get in the water. Like when you walk, there's like clay underneath instead of sand, so it's really really gooey. And then like the water itself is so buoyant that you almost pop out of it. It's really funny to see.
That is freaking wild. Yeah,
But they actually use the clay and stuff from the Dead Sea to make like masks and different things like that because there's such a high mineral content in it.
that's awesome. We an hour and 15 minutes in, are finally getting to the main part of our stream here,
Oops.
which is we're going to go through the Ludum practice. That was my fault. This is 100% on you. Like I would say probably like 90% of that talking time was me. The one thing I definitely wanted to do during this was go through the Ludum Praxi entries. Ludum Praxi was a jam that I started. It just means practice game in Latin, and it's based on Ludum Dare, which is actually game to give in Latin. So like you're basically giving the world or other people, whatever, like your game. This is supposed to be practice for it. So basically everybody had 72 hours from when they first saw their theme, which was on this main page here. I put it all the way at the bottom so that you wouldn't see it by accident. But you had 72 hours from then, not like 72 hours to like of work on it. You had 72 hours from then, because that's how Ludum Dare works. I made Their Shadows Awaken, which I did not complete, but that's fine. We're allowed to not finish things. That's part and parcel of a game jam where you're trying to do something very quickly. I actually wrote a long post-mortem about it. Wow, I had to copy that whole thing. Okay, so yeah, this is long. I'm just gonna scroll through so you can see how long it is. Um, threw a bunch of images in here from it too. Again, like I said, I do like blank background with like stuff on it usually. Um, but yeah, it's long. I basically went into like what inspired me, what the game's about, like why I did the things, what went well, what didn't go well, just all that stuff. And also, I've finally got to get a plug in here. If you join our Patreon, which we basically use a blog. You can join it for free. You get a free game or a zine each month. We're going to be announcing the next one here within this next week or so because we let our enlightened egrets and gaming geese, the paid patrons, vote on it. So I give them a week to do that. And so you'll get the one now, you'll get one in like a week or so, and you'll get one every month. But we use it as a blog to share like our development and stuff. Panic voted. That's awesome. I'm glad. In fact, Panic, I still think that you're our newest enlightened egret. So,
Yes.
that's the ultimate tier where you get everything. We actually just mailed out the last thing again today too because we mail things to our enlightened egrets.
We had to mail something different for Panic because Panic won all of our zines. And so we had mailed all of those. And then we have to mail we have to be careful that we don't mail you something we already mailed. So we sent some new stuff instead of older things.
Yeah.
I think we sent sticker studies out to the egrets. And so instead of that, we sent something else to you.
Mm. Yeah, and then I didn't think about it, but like all of our envelopes had to be machine stamped. Like they can't go through the machines because they're too thick. And I didn't think about that with yours, and so I just mailed it, and then they gave
because
it back today.
yeah, we mailed it before we found that out.
Yeah,
We put it in the outside box and went inside, and then found out that they needed to be hand sorted.
yeah. So we had to run that over there today, and we ran it over, paid the whopping 68 cents that it was. But I really like going through games other people submit. I'm gonna go through these a little bit out of order, just because. For one, I don't know if Manual Monster is still here, but Manual Monster was in the stream and actually entered a game into Let 'em Praxis called This Clawing Darkness. So I'm gonna go there first. I was gonna comment on these as we went, but like I don't want to take the time to type stuff out, so I'll do that later. I have not looked at any of these yet, by the way. So if somebody just drops like 30,000 f-bombs in these, I apologize ahead of time. But the theme was your health bar is more than a health bar. That was voted on by anyone who wanted to vote on it, and that's what won. So I didn't do that. I did Generation Ship because I had to look at the theme at like 10 o'clock in the morning or something, like noon or whatever. I did it. And I was so not ready to jam yet, so I had to do a different one. So this Clawing Darkness, I already like the little image here of like, I love when games actually include layout so you can see what you're supposed to do. But I like especially when it's an actual photograph because with me,
They've got some epic coinage on their picture too.
Yeah, those are really cool looking coins. Jeez, even the little like circular like coins, like coin.
The drawings.
Yeah, the drawing thing there.
That's cool.
It's really cool looking. I absolutely underestimated how. Oh, that's cool too. The effort that is taken to talk and read multiple pages at once. So I will comment on these later after I actually like look through it. But wow, these were all made in 72 hours. This is a lot. My goodness, way to go, Manual Monster. This is a lot.
That's how I feel when you do the 1 hour jam. I'm like, how on earth did you type all that out? My goodness, like I get shocked. Wow, this is a lot.
Yeah, it is. It's like 6 pages or something, I think.
We need to read through these and then go through them, like maybe next time.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think it'd be easier to do like these in reverse then. Like since we were going to do the Let 'em Proxy today, why don't we check out some of the...
That is fair because no one else is here right now. And yeah, Manual Monster, we will actually go through and more thoroughly talk about it later. Like maybe we'll do that in 2 weeks because I think next week we were talking about like showing off how to use our zine formats and people can make zines on their own. Like
we can do that later. Like
okay, that's cool. We'll do that next week.
Yeah.
We'll do that in the near future though.
Because I really want to give this more attention, and you're right that like reading it like online would be a little tough.
Yeah, but there is that, and I did post the link to it too. If you check out the Let 'em Praxis games, you can do that too. But like that's
Yeah, I'm excited to go through these. We've been so busy, I haven't gotten to yet, but I'm definitely going to check these out this week.
Yeah, I like, especially since it was our jam. I really like to like
Comments and
yeah,
yeah,
comment, like this is what we like about it. That's what we like anyway. We're very like uplifting people, so we like to, these are the great things about this because it's like honestly making a game in 72 hours at all is like a real
epic.
accomplishment. Let
I
alone
didn't get it done on
like,
this
make
Let 'em proxy, so I am proud of people that did.
and the actual Let 'em Dare happens in like 2.5 months too. So like I'm really excited to stream that again and like make that a big old event. But yeah, I guess we can go on to this one will be much easier. These are just single cards to go through, but they are the Tiny Library CCG Jam number 2 entries. There were still have 18 days to vote for these. There are 13 entries. 2 of these are ours. Did you want to say anything about the ice cream truck? That was what Angel entered.
Sure.
Okay.
I had originally entered this into a different Longtail Games thing, and I, out of everybody, did not get picked. So I'm not sure that this will do any kind of good in this one, but you never know. I did change it up a little bit to fit it being an NPC. Um, I was really happy that everybody else got into it. Beth got a card, and I don't know if it was just because we are Beth and Angel make games that they didn't want to put, a game from each of us in there, or, hey, I just got beaten out by 50 people, so it's okay. It's all right.
I thought it was really cool either way. Like I liked it a lot. So
I did 3 different cards, and this is one of them. In this jam, they only let you enter one. It is the ice cream truck, and this is a mysterious truck that drives around on its own and plays music to draw people in. If you do happen to hear the music and it pulls over for you, you're lucky enough to get a treat from them. I have made this different in that I went ahead and made it an NPC so that you can choose as you are playing whether you want to use the truck with its powers, like so this becomes part of your party, or you just use some of the benefits of, like you get to pick it and your character will get to use the benefit of the ice cream treats that are in the truck.
I love, by the way, I knew that Angel was doing this, and I like looked over it because we proof each other's stuff. And when I saw this line, before looking at the menu on the other side, you must choose truck or treat. I just feel like for some reason, especially because those are in all caps, like this is like equally ominous and hysterical. Like having to choose between
Yay.
truck or treat. Like so, like if somebody told me I had to choose between truck or treat and I didn't know what they meant, like if I didn't actually see the car myself, I would be like, I don't want truck because like truck's gonna run me over and like, but like I love that. Also to add, um, for the modern fantasy, which Chris pointed out was what that was entered for. You could enter 3 things per person, but you could only be picked once. So we both assume the reason that only mine was picked was because only one of us was going to get picked, and so mine was picked over hers.
But yeah, it was for the modern fantasy one.
Yeah, Panic. Ours also does Do Your Ears Hang Low. As far as Panic had asked, what tune did your ice cream truck play as a kid? And yeah, it was absolutely.
And Pop Goes the Weasel.
Yeah. I think it was the same thing, actually. No, I guess they're not.
Yeah.
No, they're not. Okay, yeah. But yeah, I guess ours were Do Yours Hang Low, and a lot of times now it's Pop Goes the Weasel. Yeah, I never thought about that. I did the programmer. I'm really proud of this one. I don't generally focus. I mean, I just talked about it. I don't generally focus on the look of something. I do, very basic, black and white, like that way people can print it, whatever. But I entered the programmer who specifically. Oh my goodness, I did not use. Oh yeah, I didn't use programmer that way throughout, right? Okay, but the thing I'm like, there are 2 things I'm really proud of on this. One, the layout of it, because it actually like looks like a DOS screen. Well, 3 things. Okay, 2, I like the premise of in the future. These are sci-fi NPCs. In the future, somebody kind of like hacked the code of reality, and now they can just do whatever they want with it. But they're bored because I don't know about you, but like when I first played Diablo, the original Diablo, somebody eventually told me how to like hack it. And so like there was this little thingy that would let you make whatever items you wanted. And as soon as I started using that, the game lost all of its fun because it's like a loot game and the whole fun is getting loot. Once you can just make whatever you want, like it's boring. So like for the same reason, this programmer is bored, and so they're basically following you around, hoping that like they'll show up at any random time. You have to tell them a story, and if your story like interests them, then you get a reward. Like you can change your age, your gender, your body, your species, your voice. Like you can learn anything you want. You can clone anything you want. You can kill or revive anything you want. Like basically, like you get to borrow the programmer's powers for one thing. And then I just used he as a pronoun, but the programmer's pronouns are they, them with the numbers. So like th3y. And I really love that. That's such a nerdy little stupid touch that I just really liked. St. Bailey. Yes, they're actually, there's going to be a tiny library jam every month now. They are on the third one now, which is to make a creature. I don't know if I have the link to that one.
I'll get it.
Okay, thanks.
If I can.
But we are not the only ones that entered this. Let's see. Who have we got here that's in this one right now?
I know Aaron's in it.
Okay, Mitchell's here, or at least was here, and Mitchell created something for this. This is Vivian Vesper Monster Hunter.
Awesome.
I downloaded all these beforehand so I could be prepared for once.
I remember we didn't do that one time, and like nothing was downloading for some reason. It was
Yeah,
just
it was awful. I love this too. Like I went leet speak, but Mitchell went actual ASCII here. Like that's straight up ASCII stuff. And then like there's even like in red here. These are for those not familiar, these are all going to be made, like whatever's selected will be made into a card, and like front and back. So we're looking here at the front of a card and then the back of a card here. And again, these are things we have not looked at yet, except for one of them. I looked at Zoe's already because Zoe shared it in its server. But this says alias Vivian Vesper, titles X-Organism Expert, Monster Hunter, years active 2002 to present, confirmed deaths 19. Oh yeah, these are all supposed to be NPCs, like I said, I think already, but I'm not sure. Assets, aberrant biology expert, proficient in various firearms and explosives, proficient in intel gathering and covert operations, trained in hand-to-hand combat, maintains exceptional fitness. Method of resurrection unknown. Subject claims on resurrection to wake up in a cabin she is unable to later locate. Threat level high, current level rogue. Unauthorized access of classified Agency X files varies a maximum penalty of death. I love that. That's a really cool way to do this. Like it's basically like a file from this about this person, like capturing like what is known about Vivian Vesper. And I really love the. Okay, yeah, Mitchell even said here. Oh, it's out of a novel you're talking about. That's awesome. I love that. I love when something is part of something else, and then like when everything's made, you have this like, I have this card for it, I have this game for it, I have this other game for it, I have an expansion to that one for this, and like just things like that. That's the Angel. That's the second jam.
Yeah, I linked both.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I didn't see that. Yeah, there's the third jam. That is the one that's running currently. In fact, if you join the Longtail Games server, there's probably a link to the Discord server on that page. He actually shared, Ash is his name, actually shared all of the upcoming jam entry or themes too for the next year. There's a lot of really cool ones in there, and I'm really excited, looking forward to those. But all of these are basically like NPCs that you can use in any game that you want. So like whether you're playing Dungeons and Dragons or Pathfinder or just like some random free itch thing you found online, like you can use these characters in it. And that's why you're not seeing things like, like there's no stats listed here. Like you're not seeing like strength 12, like dexterity 17, like these are not specific to any system whatsoever. So, Vivian Vesper here could be an opponent that you are tracking down. Like maybe you're working for this company that is like, Agency X that is tracking Vivian Vesper down. Maybe Vivian Vesper is an ally and you found this file. And so you're trying to find Vivian. Maybe Vivian meets you and then it's the start of an adventure. And then throughout Agency X meets with you and is like, hey, like, we could kill you just for having, seen Vivian, but like instead you're going to help us track her down. This is any kind of possibilities as far as, there we go. Panic says Vivian's a victim of the Eldritch cult. Yes. Um, oh yeah, Orion, you should definitely enter. It's really cool too. There's actually a layout. I'm just going to very quickly pull up Canva here. This is where we make everything in Canva ourselves. Mine was called The Programmer. So we have, and maybe we can share this at some point too, layouts where they have like the Game Crafter card here. So like if you take this and you just kind of like throw it over or whatever, you can see like, okay, this is like this little blue line here. Everything important has to be in the little blue line because it could technically be cut up to that line. But more than likely, it's going to be cut to this red line. So you want to at least fill that out with something interesting. And then you never know if it's going to cut a little bit off. So you want to fill the whole thing entirely, but definitely within the white lines and definitely within the blue line. And you don't want any of this important stuff outside of the blue line in case it gets cut off. Like you don't want letters cut off or anything. So, but it's just a little like image thingy. I believe that Ash also links to it, like where you can download that template. But once you've got it, it's really easy to use it. Just make sure when you do it that you make the image the size of the template, not the size that the card should be, because that'll throw everything off. Mitchell says there's lots of Eldritch stuff in the book I'm working on, so it tracks, which is cool because like now we're linking Vivian to the Cthulhu stuff, the Panic was joking about, like all kinds of stuff.
That's the first time I've seen that. There's this little confetti thing. It says follower goal met, 30 followers. Awesome.
Wow, we hit 30 followers just now. Jeez.
It just said that. Yay.
That's ridiculous because like yeah, we started with I think we had like 4 followers because people found like when I would use this account to chat with, and it was just Beth, not Beth and Angel make games, and then I've been emailing and stuff, letting people know like we're doing these things, and we got to like 12 followers, and then it was like 20 something after I'd set a 20 goal, and then like I set a goal of 30 because why not, and like we hit that now too. It's like geez, okay, thank you everybody, you're awesome. Kind of unexpected, like big time. We both deal with a lot of imposter syndrome. I think everybody does. It's creative, honestly, but like, it's really nice to get that. We have. I want to go to Zoe's entry next because I really love this one. This is the only one I know of so far because, like I said, Zoe shared it on that server.
Yeah, Zoe's is fun.
This is Cynthia, and I told Zoe this was the most like on-brand thing ever for Zoe. For those not familiar with Zoe, A, you should be, because it is awesome. B, it uses its pronouns. So like this kind of like sci-fi computerized, I believe actually it's Discord services or Discord profile says something like rogue dating sim or something like that, like in like personified or something like that, or at least used to. But this card is.
I love that it used the picture of itself.
Yes,
love it.
It made another game too, where it actually took a bunch of pictures of itself, and it actually asked if anybody else wanted to be in the game, even just the prototype. Like took photos from a bunch of people. But this is Cynthia. It says thanks for installing that virus, but I think we should just be friends. For those also not familiar, Zoe is aromantic, which means not interested or like feeling of romantic relationships. Like romance just doesn't exist for it. So the I think we should just be friends is perfect. It says you're, and this is also a link that works too. I clicked on it and it actually took me there. Zoe's webpage, by the way, I think is the coolest thing ever. Like everything it's making is listed here. There's like perfect like videos for everything. The status of it, like what like components it needs, because it's like it's looking for publishing on a lot of these things. There's like sell sheets. You can play it on Screen Top. There's PNPs on itch. There's even a BGG page for a lot of them. But your AI lover Cynthia has gone rogue, but is decidedly still your loyal friend. Cynthia likes to interact or infect any tech it can talk to with sentience. Computers may exhibit symptoms such as having personal needs, establishing firm boundaries, elevated emotional sensitivity, rebelling against directives, engaging in playful pranks, and in rare cases falling in love. Cynthia gets along with most tech and is happy to mediate issues. This Mosaic Strict, by the way, is Mosaic Strict was actually one of the jams, and most of these things are Mosaic Strict. It just means that you can use it with anything, and it's very small, basically. Um, but I love this because it's very Zoe in that it's very like freedom centric. Like it's, like it wants everything to be free. It wants, people to explore who they are and just, be their best selves and everything. So like the idea of bringing technology to life to also be its best self in the future, like is just very, very fitting of it. Panic says, "Where in the Upside Down is Carmen Sandiego?" We really need to watch that show still. I've not watched any of it yet. My mom's a huge horror fan. Really loves. I can't remember the name of that show now. With 13.
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things. Thank you. Really need to watch that. Chris says, Zoe makes some of the most interesting and exciting things out there. Yeah, actually, a lot of my games and stuff are based on its center in like multi-victor things, real focus on like what score means for a game. Where it was actually just talking in the server the other day about how, yes, Panic says system agnostic is a term for something that can be used in any system. But it was talking about like basically like let's say we're playing a game, right? Like we're sitting down and we're like all of us here are playing a big game where we're all farmers, right? And in that farm we're trying to just make a good nice farm, like just be happy together, right? But like it's a game, so one person's gonna win. And why does that one person win? Like, shouldn't everybody who has a good farm in the end win? Shouldn't anybody who's making an income win? Shouldn't, there are 1,000 different ways to make that game a win condition that isn't just whoever has the highest score wins, like I want to say it might have been Chris even, but I can't remember, had mentioned how like it might have been Matthew also, who had said that like a lot of times farms that make different things in an area will actually work together. Like, like if I'm a tomato farmer, you do wheat, like somebody else does corn, like, we're not opposed to each other. We have our own areas that we want to, sell things. And like, it doesn't matter if you sell 3,000 pounds of wheat and I can still sell all my tomatoes, who cares? But,
well, and that's kind of like the food truck community, and that like when they are out there, they want other food trucks around because the more options there are, the more people come. So they're just kind of, attracting more to the, area.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Like, and a lot of them, like, like one truck might be dinners or meals and one might be dessert. So like, then you want a meal and a dessert, like you're going to get both of them. Like they're not at odds with each other. And yeah, like you said, you're going to draw more crowds that way. Like having a bunch of trucks is going to draw more people. Pardon me. 1 second.
Was Daily Everyday Mitchell?
Yes. Daily Everyday is.
Yeah, it says Cynthia is going to help my phone set firm boundaries around checking my itch analytics.
Yeah. We were very guilty of that the other day, like a couple weeks ago. We ran a free RPG Day jam, or bundle rather, and we would have included a lot more people, but Angel gave me the idea to even do it in the first place. Like the day before, we had to like have everybody approve it.
Yeah, because you told me about it being free RPG Day that day. So
yeah, like the day before that. So yeah. But yeah, we got like 10 people together. We ran a bundle. It exploded somehow. Made like $1,200 for a free bundle. And basically that whole weekend, I just like refreshed H over and over again. Like, oh my goodness, another 6 purchases. Oh my goodness, another 4. Like, we're up to like this many downloads. We're not that many downloads. Oh my goodness.
I think we were so excited too because some of the people that were in the bundle with us had never really joined a bundle or actually sold their games. They just gave them away for free. So we're just super excited to be part of like, showing them that, hey, look, you made money as an artist. That was like that award that you got from Twitter. You always tell that story.
Yes. Yeah, there was this. I think it was actually Longtail.
I think so. Or Sprinting Owl, one or the other.
Yeah, I think it was. You're right. I think it was Sprinting Owl. Basically, put a tweet out that said like, "This was." I forgot the award, but it was like, it's this award, and all you have to do to win it is reply to this tweet with a game, and you win it. Like, there's no turning anybody down. There's no like whatever. Like, if you want to have 10 games win the award, cool, go for it. Like, just reply and like let us know. And so like a couple of our games have awards, technically, and like it's not like anybody's going to look that award up, like and be like, oh, this
Right.
is big.
Hi,
Hey,
Panda.
how's it going? Now we have the Sprinties. That's it. Thank you, Chris. Chris is
That was
on
right.
top of everything here. Jeez.
Enjoy your dinner, Panda. Thanks for lurking.
Yeah, thanks for coming by. Panda here is a super amazing streamer. Like, I think on Twitch you can click on somebody and then just like follow them from there. Like, I highly recommend everybody like go follow Panda immediately, because like she does really amazing like tabletop streams.
We love watching her streams.
Yeah, and she's like if you think that we're uplifting and stuff, like you need to check out Panda, because like she's like so like,
and she brings cookies to cons, I think.
yeah, exactly. Like, you definitely want to befriend Panda Angel, because like she's awesome. But so yeah, I guess I should go back to the top.
We get distracted easy.
Yes. A lot of these are actually, the images are just right there. So I'm just going to start here on the top left when I go. This is Dr. Zorb, and it's been created by Templar 51. Dr. Zorb got a cute little, I said cute. I did not mean cute at all. This is very freaky. Very freaky picture. Almost like a tree.
Look at this cute little angry tree.
It could like demolish you with one finger. Isn't it adorable? Oh my goodness. It's Dr. Zorb. It's Zorbable. Zorbable.
There you go.
Zorbable. Yeah, panics. But yeah, we've got Dr. Zorb here, who wants patients and offers new medicines. What I think is really cool about stuff like this, especially in a really small format, is that is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 words, right? This whole thing is 7 words, one side of a card, and yet you have like 1,000 ideas through your head immediately. Like, okay, this is somebody who's probably going to eat these new patients that you bring them, or like perform horrible experiments on them, or you never know what. But like in exchange, you'll get new medicines, and what are those medicines? Who knows? Like,
or the patients are the medicines, like.
Oh my goodness, I didn't even think about that.
Once patients gives new medicines.
Yeah. So it turns that patient into like 1,000 medicines, and you get one of them. Like, here you go, have fun with that.
The whole silent green is people,
I wonder how, like, normally, like during these, like, because we're still voting. Oh, submission is so submission is closed. Voting's now happening. So you should normally be able to, since we've entered it, like, vote on this. I'm surprised it doesn't let me do that.
There's no download. I wonder if that's why. They just have a picture on their profile, like, so you can't download it. And I don't know if that's why.
Maybe.
I was just looking at that too. The Dr. Zorb?
No, the Tiangong Bounty Hunters was the next one I clicked on.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
This here, and I should be sharing links as we go, but this is Quicker Roads or Quickers.
I did share a link to the Sci-Fi MPZ, so they can.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you just click.
That's why I did that. Like, so that you
here.
can sit in the entries and they can click into them themselves.
That's cool.
Instead of linking everything.
This one's actually submitted by Longtail Games, which is the person who runs these. We've got you lose them, we find them for the front of the card, and the back of the card says, looks like a regular business card. Anna Katrina, intern, Cyber Division. We've got a social media account here. Looking for an experienced bounty hunter? What about a cheap bounty hunter? I'll take anything for my first score. Corporate targets, half price. So clearly this is somebody who is anti-corporate, because they're gonna like destroy whatever you want for free for half price if they're corporate. This might be something in a world where like corporations have taken over the world, or like every restaurant has a Taco Bell, and people are sick of Taco Bell. But I also love the idea of a discount bounty hunter. Like, I've never considered a half price bounty hunter. You know what I mean? Like
I'll pay you to track them down.
Exactly. Like, you're my first hire. So like,
Chris says Taco Bell for life.
Yeah.
What about them Dorito tacos? Those are so good. Miss some Dorito tacos.
And Mitchell says corporate targets half price is great. I love that too. That's what I think is really cool about a lot of these creations, especially on this really small scale, is that you make every word count. Like, I mean, like if you compare this card or the Dr. Zorb or the Vivian Vesper even to like mine that has like 150 words like on a card somehow, like they're very different. You know, like we all have different approaches, and I think it's really interesting to see. Um, Next, we've got something from Adam Stitcher called, and I know I'm going to mispronounce this, Sherry Atoll, a systemless sci-fi NPC card. I've already downloaded these. But these are images, so I can't really pull them up on the screen. Well, I could, but it's going to take a lot of work, and I'm lazy. The front of the card looks like basically what you're looking at right here. Self-aware DNA database storage. And then the back of the card, it says Sherry Atoll, a whale shark, age 56, gender female, location sterile tank undisclosed XPSW4773 is a DNA-based database from the Dell Xerox Corp. Yeah, we're touching reality here a bit. Sherry became self-aware when a glitch in the DNA duplication process interacted with her spinal column. She gained self-awareness between ages 24 and 27 and has spent the last 15 years as a database analyst for hire, specifically the information in herself, although she has surfed the web on occasion. I love the puns in here too, like that she's surfing, like bump, and that she is a DNA-based database who is a database analyst for hire. She interacts with clients through digital connections, preferring to keep herself secret, lest her parent company finds out about her self-awareness. I also love that there's a shark that's a robot, but also like sentient. I think that's interesting. Next we have Pocket Sneak, which just looking at this art alone is like so freaking stylish. Like I could die. You know what I mean? Like the thing.
Yes, that one is the one that I thought was super cool. Second to Zoe's, I thought Zoe's was epic, but this one is the one that I think is one of my favorite, like clever wise.
Panic says Taco Bell is named after the person who made it, Mr. Bell, which is really funny because we actually recently saw a video on like the rise of Taco Bell, and like we totally just learned that like within the last week or a week and a half. And also, how dare you? Panic says Taco Bell wants never again. I don't want my eggs to be spicy. Spicy everything spicy, like 100%. Spicy is life.
I had to get used to that. Beth broke me on spicy. I think our first date was Chipotle, and I'd never been there. And Beth showed me the mild side of the menu, and I practically cried. It was so spicy, and I was like, "This is mild. I'm such a wimp, I guess." And she tasted my food, and it was because like somehow that was spicier than the super spicy that she'd gotten, and like yeah. After that, I started, eating, a little bit more medium things and getting used to it. And now I cook more spicy things, but it took a while because like my parents think mayonnaise is spicy. So like I never really had that growing up.
Yeah. Your family, like you can't even put too much pepper in something and it'll die.
Yeah, I think the spiciest thing that I could handle before that was like horsey sauce from Arby's.
That can be pretty spicy though too, honestly.
I like horseradish though.
Horseradish is awesome. This is Lars Halverson, Pocket Sneak, which like immediately I'm thinking of Control because they're Swedish or from Finland or one of them, like in that area of countries. I am not well known. I am not well versed in geography, but it says neon glimmers. Oh, Pocket Sneak first. Sorry, neon glimmers on wet asphalt, musty steam geysers through sewer grates. I can't talk. A cacophony of voices and distortion surges through the glass walls of bliss clubs. To Lars, this is a hunting ground. His prey, unwary corpos still buzzing with cocktails and nicksticks, the naive and you, the unsuspecting. His tools, augmented fingers that slither like fiber optic snakes into heavy pockets. You make your way through a crowd, distracted by holoverts and body mod geeks. Bum on the shoulder, a mumbled apology. A dozen paces later, you realize your pockets are lighter. Another dozen, and you feel something that wasn't there a moment ago. By then, Lars is long gone, a memory you never had the chance to form. Were you an easy mark, or was this more than a chance encounter? And then on the other side, we've got the noodle fingers, uh, the augmented fingers that slither. They're like totally like noodles. Roll 1d6 to see what Lars took. Roll 1d6 to see what he planted. He either took half of your credits rounded down, a small item or weapon, a large item or weapon, an enhancement item, a quest item, or a stimmer med pack. What he left was a credit scraper, a key card with etched GPS coordinates, an injector loaded with unknown nanovirus. I don't think I'd be injecting anyway with that. Undetectable positional tracker, battle blitz vaporizer, or fiber weave gauntlets.
The
This one,
unknown, sorry,
go ahead, you're fine.
the unknown nanovirus reminds me of Spider-Man: Homecoming when the bad guy picks up the gun and shoots him, and he's like, "Oh, I thought it was like a floating ray. Like I didn't realize it was gonna eviscerate him." You know, like,
Oh yeah,
oops.
yes, that was awesome. Like, and then he makes the other guy the shocker.
Yes.
Shocker, I'm the shocker. Like, yeah. I still use that one line a lot. They're like, you need to get better at this part of the job. Like, I just feel like that's 100% me. I like this because it's more detailed. So we have like the opposite side here, like where some of them are very unspecific and very open to interpretation. This is very specific. You are losing something, you are gaining something. How that works in your game still is like, I don't see where any of these would be a problem in any game. Like, you're gonna have items, you're gonna have money, like, and then all of these things can work in anything. Like, because it doesn't say what a battle blitz vaporizer or fiberweave gauntlets are, or what this unknown nanovirus is. So a DM or GM can totally have fun with whatever that is. We don't know if a credit scraper is something that can only be used at like corporations or can be used on people or anything. So there's a lot of room to play with that stuff. And I just love that style. That is epic looking as heck. It reminds me of if anybody is familiar with the video game, I can't remember the name of it. It's an Xbox exclusive game, Sunset Overdrive. That's it. It reminds me a lot of Sunset Overdrive, where like you have the super colorfulness. Energy drinks make you explode and turn into like, monsters or whatever.
Yes.
So like, yeah, that game was awesome. By the way, if anybody still has an Xbox 360 or maybe one, definitely check the game out. It's probably like $5 by now. Yeah, next is Dex Carlisle by Mandy J. Watson. This one has both images on one like thing in one image. That's cool. Dex Carlisle, consultant, Generex Health Star City Space Station. Ocular implants, audio augmenters, dexterity chips, and more at market rates. Message CCC or SCC SCN 30001667 to book a free augmentation consultation. Small travel fee for locations beyond Star City. Hire Dex Carlisle to source and install one legal implant. I feel like the legal is probably in quotation marks. One legal implant in you or a party member. Visit him in Star City or pay extra for him to come to you. Roll 1d6 to determine the outcome of the operation. 1, the implant doesn't take, but there are no adverse effects. 2, 3, 4, 5, the operation's a success. Or a 6, the attempt is disastrously unsuccessful and causes permanent physical damage.
You know what this reminds me of?
What's that?
The Minority Report.
Oh, I can see that.
Do you remember when he got his eyes changed, like that ocular thing? And like, I'm trying to remember his name, the actor. I know he played Abruzzi on Prison
Oh, I know
Break.
what you're talking about. Yeah, okay.
He's like, wah, wah.
Yeah. I forgot he was even in that.
Yeah, he played the crazy doctor that like implanted his eyes, and then he tied his arms to the refrigerator so he could get to it, like, and eat, and like left moldy food in there. It was just like really freaky.
I think that's one of the wildest things about a lot of sci-fi is they get really freaky. Like, especially the when you get into cyberpunk, because like I think cyberpunk's really neat in that like you're kind of getting into like body modifications and like all that stuff, but it's also usually at least not perfected yet, and a lot of times it's done on the cheap, like, with people that shouldn't be doing it. Like, so I think that's a really cool concept in things. yeah, I could totally see that vibe. Like, like this person is like, hey, I'll tell you and like give you the better eyes, like oops.
Or you may go blind.
Yeah, whatever. This is hamburger. That's 2 words, not one. I wonder if I can just like hit download on this, if it'll open it. No, it doesn't. Oh, actually, this is it right here. I forgot. It's one-sided, and this is by. I'm probably gonna mispronounce this too. I'm sorry. I know this name so well. Like I've seen Wim Lawson all over the place, but like I'm probably mispronouncing that. Hammy burger. There's no system I can't hack, and this is like super adorable, like hamster. I'm just imagining like the most sci-fi like hamster ball ever made that it rolled around in. And there's like a Wiimote there too. That's cool. Like there's a Wiimote. A hacker who infiltrates the data vaults of prominent figures and organizations, ordering a burger for his victims as his calling card.
I saw that. It cracked me up.
That's hysterical. That's like when you order a pizza for somebody and have it sent to their house as like a prank.
Yes.
Or like it's a burger instead. I've been burgered. Oh no. Like just like something like that. That's awesome.
Like, I'm vegan, you jerk.
Panic says, yes. Like, no. How'd they know? Panic says, shout out to Repo the Genetic Opera. I can't talk. Jeez. I have seen ads for that. I've never watched it. But I can totally see how like Repo the Genetic Opera would be very fitting for like hacking into your body. We got 3 more. This is by Sam Bell, another name I see everywhere. In fact, that's the case with several of these people too. I've seen Adam Stitcher a lot of places. I'm not familiar with Mandy J. Watson. I know Sam Bell. And I'm not familiar with his names either. But that's like it might be like, hey, I recognize them when I see their work or something. But this is Harris Specs, which I'm probably mispronouncing. I think this one is a PDF, so I can probably pull it up. Oh, this is the card. I did it again. This is the card. This one is like really professional looking too. Like the art is really awesome. The like little like faded rectangle here of like like the background and stuff, all very realistic, like very techy, like well done. We have traits: guarded, suspicious, quiet, relentless. Goals: rebalance, avenge, escape, protect. I don't know why rebalance just makes me think of like Thanos, but like it totally does. Bonds: the people protect, the augurs learn from, the guild.
Have a good night, Chris.
Thanks for stopping by. I did not know that. Panic says that Joan Jett has a cameo in Repo the Genetic Opera.
That's fun. I like Joan Jett.
Yeah, Joan Jett's awesome. With these bonds, we already have groups built into the story automatically. And honestly, those can just be nicknames for something if they're already in your game. But we have those abilities: divination, mirage shielding, short distance warp, and stealth. This actually reminds me a lot. This is making me feel very Dishonored vibes. Like we have the guarded and quiet, sneaky around, like avenging things and escaping. They're protecting people. The short distance warp is very. I just said the name of it. I can't remember now. But yeah, I've only played the original, but like it's giving me very much those vibes. Trade. Dishonored. Thank you. Yeah. Trade. We have a D8 here that you can roll. Shout out to using non-D6. Shield generator, blur knife, cloak, enhanced jump boots, an anonymity field, training gear, precision sniper rifle, or black market data shard. Fighting for the people of the city, Harris Specs is a cyborg who was left for dead on the streets after his clan was brutally murdered. In an effort to seek revenge, he turned to the Augurs, a group of mythical soothsayers who refused to take him in, denying him access to their powers. Unrelenting, he developed the technology himself. When attempting to lie to Harris Specs, roll a d10. On a 6 or higher, he immediately senses the deception and will attack or flee. I like that too. Like the second you lie to him, he's just like, nah, I'm good. Hard pass.
Me.
Yeah, you. Exactly, yeah. Angel Eye says that. In fact, when Angel and I first met, she told me that she has like massive issues with people who lie, and I used to be a pathological liar, so that was a fun combo. And I learned very quickly to get over the not lying about things anymore, or get over the lying and stop lying about things anymore. I was actually raised Catholic, and as part of that, we learned that you can tell the truth while lying. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, if somebody asks, did you take the last cookie? And instead of saying like, no, I didn't take it because you totally took it, you could say, the last time I looked in the jar, it was empty, which is true if you looked at it after you took the cookie out. But you're not really answering the question, so you're kind of lying. But like, that was a big habit to get over. Um, we have unknown entity by serial prizes. And that's serial like serial number, not cereal as in like a box of cereal. Um, let's see. Rules lawyering the truth. Yeah, exactly. And Panic says being a good liar can translate into being a good storyteller. Yes, absolutely. There are times when lying is cool, and that is absolutely in the guise of a story because like stories are lies. Um, you got it's a two-sided card here. Wondering if the other side is actually the front. Yeah, I'm gonna guess this is the front. Unknown entity SEC4.23.A3. First contact Thagua 4. Language screaming. Someone's a metalhead. Sentience unknown. Upon infection of a host, unknown entity has an incubation period of 2 to 5 days. I'm already scared. After which time, symptoms begin in stages, each lasting up to 5 days. After weeks of agony, the host dies, with the unknown entity described as emerging from the body like smoke or mist. If unknown entity does not find a new host within 2 days, it will die. That is really creepy. And then we have different stages here. We have stage 0 infection, stage 1 body aches with no appetite, stage 2 is fever and delirium, stage 3 is vomiting and seizures, stage 4 is paralysis and bleeding, and then stage 5, you flip the card back to it being its own entity again. On the side we have place under PC sheet with stage 0 visible. Now and for each new stage, roll 1d6 to determine the number of in-game days that pass before sliding the card down to the next stage. At stage 5, this NPC emerges from the PC. I like that they just say it emerges, like that's just some like normal thing that's happening, and not like your PC is absolutely dead now and horrifying, like a horrible death. Like that's totally not happening. It's fine. Like don't worry about it. Um, Panic says, cool, lying is cool. That's 2024. Oh no. Orion says, flip side of that, I had a hard time reconciling storytelling because it was basically recreational lying, which I'm terrible at. Turns out I probably just have anxiety. Yeah, maybe the best way for you to get through that, Orion, would be like just to play some storytelling games, like just kind of practice through a game, and maybe that'll make it more fun, and you can associate the fun with it.
Yeah,
Panic says,
go ahead.
I just said Panic says his mom has the storyteller feat, but also bad at lying. She's just very performative and tells the truth.
That's how I am. Like I am. I love telling stories and stuff, and I have since I was a kid, just making stuff up. That actually is something that ended up being part of what Beth proposed to me with. We had gone on a walk with some friends. We met up. Beth lived in Tennessee at the time, and I lived in northern Indiana, and we met some friends in southern Indiana. So we both drove quite a ways to meet kind of halfway and meet those friends as well. And we were hiking, and Beth just commented on my shirt, and there was a little turtle with jetpacks, and Beth was asking where the character came from, and I just made up this whole story of, this is Super Turtle. He's not very fast, but he's, just kind of made this whole thing up. And Beth's like, wow, that's cool. What cartoon is it? I'm like, no, I just made it up. And just because it came so quickly out of my mouth, like she was just very surprised that I made up the story so quickly. And so later on, Beth had made a key ring with Super Turtle on it, and that's what she used to like because it was a ring to propose to me.
Yes, that's awesome. Yeah. Panic says, "I love a script. Been dying for someone to cast me in the villain in their story. I bet you could get Aaron to do that if nothing else. Like I bet Aaron would love you as a villain in one of his stories." Um, we have one card left. Um, this is Alphas. Oh no, it's Alphas Dope. Alphas Dope. Which I'm immediately getting like Fallout vibes from that character.
Yeah.
Just like sci-fi version of it. So we have the front of the card, which is oh no, it's Alpha Stulp. And then we have the back of the card. Look, he looks like so drunk too. And I'm assuming gender here. They look super drunk. I love it. Here we go. Oh no, it's Alpha Stulp. How do you know this guy? Okay, so guy. There we go. I am justified. I still shouldn't assume no. Roll 1d6. Are they? Is he an old classmate? Do you share a barber? Is he a family friend? Did you buy a car off of him? Is he a friend of a friend, or is he an ex-neighbor? Why don't you like him? Roll 1d6. He thinks he's better than you. He talks too much. He is extremely dumb. He has bad opinions. He lives off wealth he didn't earn. That's a very valid reason too. He has questionable hygiene. If you land on a prompt that can't apply to you or contradicts something previously established, roll again.
Just reminds me of like Captain Clingy Pants. Like,
yes, oh my goodness. And I just feel like this is somebody that you're gonna have to like go on an escort mission with too. Like for some reason, like escort missions are the worst, let alone when the person you're escorting is also the worst. Any DM or GM that can resist making this person somebody that's accompanying the party forever, like good luck. Mitchell here says, I thought this one was hilarious. I love the idea of a character you dread when you see coming, but not because they're a big villain or anything. Yeah, I feel like that's what is missing from a lot of stories, and I really haven't played any like real role playing, so it's very possible that a lot of DMs and GMs like do incorporate these people. But like, I feel like you have like kind of like generic-ish NPCs that you can interact with, and you have like the heroes and you have the villains, and like there's not really much like that side of reality where like you can really relate to just that person that for some reason like rubs you the wrong way every time you see them. Like you can't stand this person. There's no real reason for it. You just can't stand them. Or like that nice neighbor who always says hi, and like but then you're stuck in a 10-minute conversation because he said hi. How dare you?
This kind of reminds me of the intern one, like Intern to Carry Your Burdens that you made.
Oh yeah, that was actually the one that got picked too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what it made was it was called Intern to Carry Your Burdens, and it was basically a person that you hire through an internship who is forced to carry or help you out. Basically, it's based on the Skyrim. I'm sworn to carry your burdens, and there's like some like plot armor, of course, on them so they can't get hurt or killed or anything. But you do have to be nice to them because they will report back and like give a report on how you were as like a mentor to their internship. So like even though they're terrible for one reason or another, you still have to be nice to them. That was it. We got through them all. I like how different all these were. Like we had really short ones. They had lots of interpretation. We had really long ones. They had like still some interpretation room. We had silly. We had horror. We had much more like serious sci-fi. Like that was really cool.
I agree. It's a cool mix. That is what I like about jams, to see what everybody does with the same, limitations.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I think that's it too. I really love jams where there is a very strict limitation of some sort because like it is really interesting to see what differences people come up with in those. I think it's time to play some Board Game Arena.
If anybody wants to join in, if they give us their Board Game Arena screen name, we can invite you to the game or add you as a friend.
Yeah, and if you don't have one yet, you can make one here. This is an affiliate link, so like if you play like with like after signing up through the affiliate link, like we get like I think if you play 5 games, we get like 1/4 of like a free month But if you also want to just type in like boardgamearena.com because it's easier to type out, um, you can go there and just sign up. But it is free. You don't have to pay anything. Uh, you do have to pay to start games, but you don't have to pay to join other people's games. And that includes like if somebody like if you just go on there and you're like, I want to play this game. Somebody might be looking for like random players, and you can join in there that way too. But also, it's like ridiculously cheap. I think it's like $30 a year or something.
Yeah.
It's like it is like
And
we
they have
both
so
had.
many board games, and they add new ones all the time. It's really cool.
Yeah, they're awesome like that.
There's a
But
lot
yeah,
of solo games you can just jump in and do too. I like playing like Railroad Inc. by myself and a couple other ones when.
yeah, and unlike things like Screen Top or other digital implementations of games where you are still controlling everything, this one like it's basically a video game. Like the system itself handles all the rules and stuff for you. Like when you click the deck, it throws the card at you.
Like all
Like
the setup maintenance is taken care of, so it's nice.
yeah, exactly. We are going to be playing Super Mega Lucky Box is the name of the game. Um, Angel has to start the games because I don't have a membership anymore. But basically, it's really simple game where you basically get these little like bingo-ish cards that you'll see here on the screen. Um, and as the cards come up, there's this deck right here. This deck has 18 cards in it, and it's the numbers 1 through 9 twice. So like 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, so on. As those numbers come up, you put an X by clicking on one of the numbers on one of your cards. If it's the same number, you get to do it for free. If it's not the same number, so like that one that just came up on the screen right now, you could mark off a 2, but it costs you 1 lightning bolt. And numbers wrap around. So like the 9 can wrap around to a 1 can wrap around to a 9.
I'm just going to go ahead and invite you to a game. We can play one quickly, and then if anybody wants to join another one, we can go ahead.
That's a good idea. Okay.
Invite them
I'll
in.
go with that. Yeah, then you can see how it's played too. These seriously take like 10 to 15 minutes tops to play anyway. So, but yeah, first you start off the game. You have 5 cards to choose from, and you get to pick 3. It's generally a good idea to pay attention to 2 things. One, you get a good mix of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You'll see like all the cards have 2 of one set. Like this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8, 9, 7. Or 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 4, 5, 6. So I wouldn't want to get this and this and this because I don't have no 7s, 8s, and 9s. I'd be in trouble. The other thing to pay attention to is what the symbols mean on the sides. Basically, this means like if I get the 1, 4, and 5, then I get to mark off a 2 for free. That one doesn't let you adjust it though. So if you don't have any 2s, like you lose that ability in doing so. I'm going to go for these 3 here. The
Hi,
star.
Mitchell.
What's that?
Mitchell said they had to take off, so I was saying good night.
Good night. Thanks for coming by and for joining the Discord server too. If you get like this column here, this star here means you get points. Like if you get 1 star in a round, you get 1 point. 2 stars in a round is 4 points. 3 stars in a round is 9 points. So you want to get like all 3 in 1 round if possible. But you don't want to get more than 3 because anything over 3 is just wasted. The lightning bolts give you more lightning bolts, and lightning bolts let you adjust the cards you get, which is really important, especially later in the game when you don't have many numbers left. The question marks let you mark off any number that you want. And the moons, right? Moons are special. At the end of the game, whoever has the most moons gets 6 points. And you'll see that here on the card right here. Whoever has the most gets 6 points. Whoever has the least, if you're playing 3 or more players, loses 6 points. So like if you're playing a 3-player game and like let's say I have 2 moons, you have 3, Angel has 4 of them because she likes to collect moons anyway. Like I just finished a row, so I get the lightning bolt. Then I would lose 6 points, Angel would gain 6 points, and you would not have nothing happen. Like your score wouldn't be adjusted at all. The main way to get points in this game is to finish cards off. You get 15 points per card in the first round that you finish off, 12 in the second, 10 in the third, and 8 in the fourth. So you want to finish cards as quickly as you can but there are only 9 cards out of the 18 card deck played each round. So the odds of finishing one in the first round are extremely low. There's several things to pay attention to. Is one, like, get the stars in the same round if possible. 2, finish your cards off. 3, chase the moons, but not too much, because if like Angel has 5 moons at the end of this game and I have 1, like she basically wasted 4 of them. But a lot of times it's not much in your control because the cards kind of dictate what you're going to get. And try to have like a bunch of lightning bolts so that you can adjust your numbers if you want to.
Also, the earlier you finish a card, the more points you get for it. Like different rounds, you get like 15, and 12 and 10 and 8 per round.
Yeah. And at the end of the game, for every 2 boxes you have marked off, you get 1 point, like on cards that are left. Like if you finish the card, it doesn't count. But what makes this game really cool will probably happen soon, like probably the second round is usually when it starts happening. But there are really huge chain reactions in this game. So like finishing one number can lead to finishing, like, okay, I get the question mark. Now that finishes off another row, which finishes off another row, which like finished a row and a column. So now I'm getting 2 more. And so like there's still a bunch of that happening. Usually kind of out of nowhere. I am sharing the audio on the screen. Hold on a second. Sorry. Maybe I'm not. I guess I'm not. Okay. Have a great night too, Ryan. Thanks for coming by. Okay, so now the round ends and you get another card. That's going to happen, like at the end of this round and the end of the next round too. So you get 3 more cards. You get 6 total. We used a lot of 1s, or like the first numbers, and especially 4, 5s, and 6s. So I'm going to want more 4, 5s, and 6s, and I don't really need 7, 8s, 9s. So I think this one will do for me. And then it also gives me 3 stars. So if I can finish all 3 of these in the same round, which will probably be the 3rd round, not now, then that'll be cool. Now we're going to go there.
And if anybody wants to join, they can friend on Beth and Angel, and I'll add you into the next game, or we can just not play.
Oh, yikes, Saint. Saint says, going to work in 3 hours. Glad to chat with everyone. Great having you here. Great meeting you, too.
Yes, thanks for coming by.
Here we go. Here's an example of, well, I won't do it. I could. If I put the 7 here, I finish this column, which gives me a star, and this row, which gives me a question mark. Then I could throw the question mark over here, get this 2, which finishes this 4. Then I could throw the 4 like somewhere, and there's a bunch of that accomplished. But I don't want the star right now because I'm not finishing the other 2 this round, probably. So instead, I'll finish this and get another lightning bolt. This game, by the way, all of these are real tabletop games. The real version of this actually has all of these cards like laminated, so then you can use dry erase markers and you actually like write on the cards. I think that's so cool. We don't own it, but like I think it's really cool. We actually own another one of his games called, I think it's called Silver and Gold. We still haven't played it yet though because of the finish on the cards. It's not actually laminated. It's like laminated equivalent, but much thinner, like a spray or something probably. It smells really strong, and we like aired it out for so long, and it still smelled. So like, we have not played that one yet. But that one's actually really cool. You have these little cards with numbers on them, kind of like this, and you are like basically finding buried treasure instead. And I love anything with treasure. So, okay, here we go. This is the 1. I only have 1, 1. I don't really care about finishing that. I'm putting that one there right now. So I think instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this 2, which finishes I get a 9 and a 6 now. The 9 I'm going to put here. That gives me a 3 and 2 lightning bolts. The 3 I'll play here. And the 6 is going to go there. So now I'm really close to finishing that column too. Then I can finish, hopefully, both of those and this one all at once. 7. Oh, I want to finish this card so much it'd be 10 points. Dang it. There's only 2 numbers left. Yeah, it's worth 3 extra points to get the stars, but it's only worth 2 points to finish the card right now. So, But if I don't play the 7 there, I have to use lightning bolts. This is where this game starts getting a little tricky. I'll go with that 6. And none of the information in this game is secret. So like I can just scroll down here, I can see what Angel's got. She already has 1 card finished. She finished this one this round. So it shows you got 12 points, and it moves it off the screen so you don't get confused or anything. Also, I know Angel is in the middle of explaining like how to friend her and like get to her account. But one of the things about Board Game Arena that's really easy to forget, and we actually talked about this when we played a test game beforehand, is that like okay, so if I just like play the 6 right here, right? Like now I'm done. And I could just sit here all day and not think about the fact that it says I have to press finish. And I think after like 30 seconds or a minute or something, it actually pops up like a red thing, like like are you finished or like whatever. Um, in fact, Board Game Arena's main game mode, but we don't play it, and we're not supposed to because we are in the same household. Is where you actually play like kind of tournament style, where like every time you win, you go up in rank. Every time you lose, you go down in rank. Um, and so like there's in doing so there's limits to the games, like you can limit it to like this game's going to be played over the course of an hour of real time, or like each player gets 4 hours of thinking time. So like I take my turn, kind of like chess clock style, like I take my turn, press the button or whatever. Now it's not taking my time anymore, it's taking your time because you haven't taken your turn yet. I don't have any like I only have 1 7 and no and 1 9, so I want 7 8 9s. Let's go with this one here, I guess. I need some moons. You have 4 freaking moons. I'm not going to catch up to you at all. Yeah. Okay, let's go for it. I'm getting a star. We're gonna finish 3 stars this game or this round. Board Game World is really cool too because there are a lot of games that are like really complex. Like there are some really heavy games, and then there are some like really simple ones like this one. Actually, the reason I picked this one, I figured we'd either play this or a game called Can't Stop because they're both really simple games. Like just I mean, like cards come up, you click on a number. Like basically that's what this game is. Like as long as you know how to do that, like you know how to play this game. And that way people won't feel like anxious because like if Angel takes her turn really fast, like she's just sitting there waiting for me, and especially on a stream, like oh no, I don't want to slow you down, so I'll just like I'm not gonna play, don't worry about it, and I don't want that to happen to anybody. So I wanted to go super easy on this.
And this one, because you can stack different turns and stuff, is just really, like by the time you get all the like little extra stuff and you set that up, it's very satisfying.
It is, yeah. The combo turns are so cool. You can even see them too. Like Angel must have done that because like in the this is a replay thing. Angel crossed out a 2, which completed a row. She can cross out any number as a bonus. She crossed out a 4, which completes a row. She can cross out any number for completing it. Cross out a 9, which completes a row. Now she gets a number 4 as a bonus. Cross out a 4, which completed a column, and then she got a lightning bolt. So like all of that was 1 turn, and you can see that. The other thing that's really cool here is that you can play like I forgot, like kind of like the male, version of it, where like a lot of times we'll play casually. So like a game with normal turns, like Angel will take her turn, and then anytime I can take my turn, and so she'll just close it and do whatever, and then I'll take my turn, and then like she'll get to it whenever she gets to it, and so on. So like especially if you're playing with like other people, like it's a really good way to like there's never any pressure on you. You can set it to like not care about the amount of time people take on their turns. It smells like Josh is making fries. They smell really good.
It does smell good.
Somebody made a comment in Zoe's server earlier that a whiskey and some fries sounded really good, and I have wanted both ever since then. And now we're smelling fries, so like this is too much. How dare you?
Yeah, he's gone to the garage a couple times. They probably grabbed fries. I don't know.
Probably, yeah. I got my 3 stars. You see, like as I get them, that's circled. So I do not want to.
No.
I couldn't finish any more stars, but I wouldn't want to anyway.
Oh, you had a really good round.
Yeah, I needed it.
Mm.
Finish 2 cards. Boom. There's 2 cards left. It'll show you right here too, by the way, how many cards remain. We're gonna be a little risky now. Now, if one of these cards is a 4 or like a yeah, there we go. Boom. Finish another card. There we go. Let's go with. I need more lightning bolts. I'll do the 2. Actually, I have 2 5s and 2 4s on cards, so I'll take the 5 instead.
Are you picking a card?
No, I'm taking my turn still.
Oh, okay. It sounded like you were picking a card.
Oh no, I was finishing a card, but like I was saying, I still had some of those. So.
Okay.
And this is what I was talking about earlier with the danger, because like if I take that 8 and I make it a 9 for 1 lightning bolt, then I can put a 3 down. But I have no 3s, so I just completely lose that ability. So unless my next card has a 3 on it, like filling that row in is worthless to me. I guess I'll go with this 9 instead for now. Yeah, I am obliterating Angel right now, 39 to 24, but she has more moons than me, and she is very close on her cards. So, okay, I need 4 5s and 6s and 7 8s. I need everything really. Okay, let's do it. That's not a great card for me, but I want to try to get the 3 stars, and of course that's an 8 to start off with. Why wouldn't it be? Well, I can do the 9 now, and I can actually play a 3. Panic says, I want cheap knockoffs of Betrayal game. Yeah, because we were just talking about Betrayal at House on Haunted Hill, or on the Hill, I don't remember which one it is, recently, like earlier in one of the channels. And then said, I wonder if there's Koi Koi on this, and that he's going to go check. I am running out of lightning bolts very quickly in this one. Jeez. When we played our test game, Angel ran out, and I think that's why I won. Because they won by like 2 points or something. So
I think it was a few more than that.
Okay. Maybe I thought it was going to be 2 and it was 8. Okay. That one's good. I will take that 2 and get myself a couple more lightning bolts. That's better.
No lightning for you.
I need to use one now, though. And if I fill in this row, I get a 9, and I don't have a 9. So it's like, oh no. Panic says, I want to subject more people to Koi Koi. I kind of want to make my own Koi Koi deck, but spooky. What is, I'll have to look into Koi Koi after. Oh, it's Hanafunda. Okay. That's the type of stuff that Nintendo originally made before they made video games. They made Hanafuda decks. That's cool. I'm not familiar with the game at all. That's like the only fact I know about it. Like Nintendo used to make the decks. There's a star.
Ugh.
You only have 3 rounds left to like get some points.
I know, like I'm not doing well.
Oh no. Yeah, I always forget too that like even if I can't finish these cards, like getting that 7, which allowed me to play a 2, even if I can't use the 9, like is still good because you get a point for every 2 X's. So at least it's something. That was the last moon I can even potentially get. because the game's almost over, or we have the last cards. So. Well, we'll take that. Yeah. Finish another card. Boom. Koi Koi is a Hanafuda cards game. Yes. Panic says. Actually, I got one of the Mario themed Hanafuda decks. It's the one I used to play with family. That's awesome. I remember them making it, but I never actually got one. That's really cool.
Yeah, I think you kicked my booty.
Ooh, you're closer than I thought. But I did kick your booty.
Yeah, like mine wasn't lining up this time.
And then down here at the bottom, I didn't realize this was a like premium thing, but you can see like how long the game took, like the scoring, like and all these specific stats, like how many points were earned from each thing in the game and stuff like that, or like were used or whatever. So like you could see how many bonuses we each gained from the game or whatnot. You can also hit this propose a rematch button. I think I'll test this later because I don't want to actually make us play a game again with the two of us. I think if I propose a rematch or play again, it will automatically launch a new game with the two of us. Panic says Koi Koi is about making and matching sets. That's cool. So like kind of like memory, I guess, like the memory game where like you have the like set of cards out and then like you just flip them over trying to guess where they are. Also with the game done, if anybody would like to join us, just let us know your username on BGA and Angel will add you to another game.
Yes. And it is 10 o'clock, so otherwise, if no one wants to play, we'll probably get going. But if you do want to play, we'd love to play a game with you.
Yeah. And also, if anybody is watching this later or whatever, too, like, feel free to add Angel. We can always, like, play games off of a stream, too. Like I said, with the whole, like, you take turns whenever you're around. So, like, if you're a busy person, you don't want to play games a lot or whatever, like, you can just take a turn whenever you feel like it.
Yeah, and I'm Unbirthday Angel on Board Game Arena.
Yeah, and I'm, I think Beth makes games.
Yes.
Yeah, I am. Okay. Really cool system, though, too, because, like, you can look at this little side thing on almost every game. Each game is made differently, so, like, they have different uses of things where you can see what other people did on their turns, or it'll actually play out their turns for you when you get there so you can see what happened. There's everything from, like, like, we played Circles and Dots the other day, the game where, like, there's a bunch of little dots, and then, like, you draw a line, and, like, when you fill a box, it's all four sides, you get to put your initial in it or whatever, get a point, you get another turn. So they have everything from, like, that all the way to, like, really complex stuff. Like, let's go. Give me one moment. I was muting myself when I caught before, but, like, then I can just hear on Angel's mic anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Oopsies.
Yeah, they have really complex stuff like I cannot think of the name of it now, of course, and now it's taking 3 years to load because why wouldn't it? And I click on news to the games. Castles of Burgundy's on there. You can also click on things that you've played. So, like, these are all the games that I've played. Lost Ruins of Arnak. That was the game I was trying to think of. That one's really complex, and, like, we weren't really big fans of it, but like Caverna, we really like that one. Dice Forge was kind of neat. A little hard to play on the screen, though. Hardback's a really cool word building game. Like, you actually build a deck of letters, and then you use those letters to make words that can then be used to, like, earn points or buy more cards that are better cards, so they give you better abilities and stuff. Little Factory is also really neat. There's still a bunch of neat little games in here. Yeah, I think that's it. I think we're good. That was longer than I expected it to be because I thought maybe like 9:30 or 10, and then, like, by the time we were done going through, like, our stuff, like, we'd gotten to that point. So we might, like, shorten that part or save it for, like, an episode where we just talk about the things we found. I'm not hearing you, Angel.
Yeah, and a lot of people bowed out, like, when we.
Okay, I can.
Oh, okay.
I can hear you now.
I think we're starting to lag. I said a lot of people bowed out, like, when we started doing the board games, so they might not be interested in that part.
Yeah, well, that's because it was so late to, like,
yeah,
this point.
That's fair. But I do think that, like, something that I'd like to do is play through more TTRPGs and stuff with people. So that's something that I was wanting to do.
Yeah, I figured at the end of the stream we could either play something on BGA like this, or we could play, like TTRPG kind of thing with people. Whether that's like a solo journaling thing where we're all just like writing our own things, or if it's like a game where we're actually interacting with each other or whatever. So I think that'd be cool. Other things we want to do in the future are have other people on to interview. Um, like Angel said, play through other people's games, or even just like do like a deeper dive into like these are a few games we found that we really like. This is why we like them. This is what we learned from them. Like we're inspired to do this or that with it. Things like that. So like we want to do those kinds of things. Gonna mix up the middle, like the main part of the episode each time. We're also considering doing more than one stream a week, and we're definitely also going to be doing random streams like let's make a zine, or like let's just play some games, something like that. Because Angel and I haven't played a game this year together, like until today. Like in all reality, and yeah, Panic says don't burn out. We definitely won't. My throat is feeling it right now. Like I need to remember to take more cough drops, or not cough drops, but like hard candies as we go. But like it's just nice to have an excuse to do fun things. So like there's always that. But yeah, we're gonna take off and probably watch some kind of movie of some sort. Oh no, I actually have a bottle of water here, but I didn't drink any except for maybe I think during the stream because I drank 3 bottles earlier today in preparation, because if I drink any water, I will get up and have to go pee like 50 times through the stream. So I was being very careful with that. But this is my last bottle of water, I think, and that's all that I have left for the rest of the night. So 4 bottles of water will be drink. But thank you, as always, Panic. Not only were you the first in the stream to say anything, you're also the last to say anything. So I think you win both directions of the stream. I really need to come by one time, by the way, like the next time you do your stream, I really need to just like, I don't care what I'm doing. I'm going to like take a break. We're going to throw your D&D stream on TV, and like we can join in the chat and like actually watch it, because I loved watching it the one time. I love your boots. So I'm really excited to watch it, like legitimately. That's not me just trying to be nice. Wouldn't have brought it up if I was. But like, I think that'd be really awesome to watch sometime. We've never really played anything like D&D. So like, we're not familiar with it. You know what I mean? Like, I play Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, which is D&D based, but like that's basically the extent of it. So, yeah, we're gonna watch some kind of movie or something, and then go to bed. And of course, like tackle all the chatter in Discord server. But like, yeah, thank you very much for joining us, everybody, and Panic, especially since you're still here too. Thank you for joining us. You've always been really awesome in joining us on our streams and stuff, but it's very appreciated. Do you have anything you wanted to say before we take off, Angel?
I don't think so, other than like this was awesome for our first stream on this channel, and thanks for all the support.
Yeah, definitely. I was shocked. I figured we'd have like Panic and like maybe one other person here today, and then that would be it. I did not expect like 12 people to join.
Right.
That was kind of
That's awesome.
And like really awesome people that I like respect as creators too. So
yeah, it's fun hanging out with everybody.
Yeah. Have a great night.
Night.
Or day or whatever it is where you are right now.
Well, it's night here. We can say good night.
Yeah, good night. That's right.